should be going.
Okay, welcome back to Miss of Modhur, a bright and tight adventure. Uh, who wants to do the previously? Or I can.
Food in my mouth currently. Sorry.
Um, so previously, uh, stuff has gone bad in Modhur. Uh, Nidhogg and his coven of undead and necromancers have shrouded the islands in a perpetual mist generated seemingly in part by the ice coffin that you were all responsible in bringing to the city under false
Whoopsies!
whoopsies indeed, under false pretenses from your possessed boss and employer, at least for that job. Um, in doing so, realizing that something was amiss, you ended up tracking down and discovering the plot before realizing that the one that you had personally taken offense to possessing your boss and tricking you all for nefarious means went to the governor's place where she seemed to have quite a previous engagement. But when you arrived there, events unfurled as you saw the leadership of the city, dead or undead, amid the thanks to the Ettercaps that had assaulted it with their undead minions. And you realize that your boss has been possessed by a banshee known as the Widow Cindrilla, a figure from the history of the city as well as the personal history of the governor. This whole plot, at least on her part, seeming to be an act of revenge. But in an attempt to prevent this, one of you fell. Poor sweet JJ. Suffering the scream of the banshee, your soul was shredded and cast into the deep, as your body was cast off the ziggurat to break down below. Several days have passed since then. Many of you, those of you who survived, taking refuge with many of the other survivors of the city within the St. Sanguisuga Hospital Temple, where one of your number, Kita, your brother, is now the head cleric in charge, one of the last of their order, or at least the highest ranked member of their order still surviving. Most of them present at the festival when Nidhogg had attacked. You dealt with helping survivors get to the temple, as well as dealing with some possessed former associates, which led to the reveal of JJ's return in a much different form from the swashbuckling, charming rogue that you had known before. Now a ghostly, deathly, serious undead of some sort, wielding strange powers and weapons not of this world. As you realized this was merely a distraction, and you raced back to the temple at a message from your brother Kita, where within the anti-undead barriers, with undead waiting at the doors, just waiting for their chance to flood in, you fought through and discovered the survivors and the priests under attack by creatures that you recognize, Kita, as hemogoblins and hemogres, vampiric creations using profane blood rituals. And fighting through the masses and managing to rescue many of the survivors, although many fell, as well as the remnants of the Navy's military and city guard that were there, who had also joined the defense. You raced down to the ward that was supposed to protect against undead, now seemingly destroyed and deactivated. Fearing the worst, you rushed in and found your brother standing side by side with someone that you recognized, Grund. Someone from your history that you had perhaps not even thought about in a long time until that fateful card reading on the ship heading towards the hag's lair, where you saw her face, young and beautiful, but now standing before you, aged and spell-scarred. You see Madame Shera, one of the head necromancers of the Academy Necrotic. seemingly standing side by side to defend the blood cleric of Saint Sanguisuga in the temple. Um, and following the battle, you all, now knowing that the temple was no longer safe by divine wards against the undead, security was of utmost purpose. And after spending some time securing the temple, JJ, I believe you're the one who gathered everyone up because of everyone kind of tiptoeing around you. Except for Grend. He seemed very fascinated with what had happened,
And trusts him implicitly.
which is really funny.
Krill has not treated him much different.
You haven't really, like, hung out with him, though. I mean, like, stuff's been going on, so, like, you know.
He's been
That's
keeping
why,
keeping an eye on JJ mostly because he doesn't, he thinks other people might be trigger happy, but
Stab happy.
yeah.
Sappy.
Stappy. No.
Yeah. And JJ, where we left off last session, began the story. He, to quote the ARC words, "This is how I died."
Yeah, I was about to lead into that. Because I haven't said this in a while in the beginnings. These are the final days of Modhur. There was no hope for survival. This is how you died. But now, this is how JJ died. And came back. So.
Felt different.
Let me find the appropriate. Where's the deep? Where's the deep? I really need to organize shit.
That's
JJ. Your soul has been shredded, tattered, severed from your body, and cast adrift into the deep. And it does feel like drowning eternally as you're pulled deeper and deeper into the darkness. Just as we said before, just as you feel as if you are going to be crushed down into the dregs of whatever life may be down here, drawn so deep, you notice something, or maybe something noticed you, as three lights emerged from the darkness, circling each other, twisting. And then, as it looms, you wonder if these are the eyes of something vast, something in the deep, peering through you. But no, they split, and then they twist around you, fish-like. As you look and see, quite, if you were alive, you might be a little shocked at how literal the term is. As you see lanternfish, 3 of them, circling around you, but where the lure that should be, the glowing lure of flesh that should be dangling from their foreheads, you see, quite literally, lanterns lit with a ghostly blue flame, somehow burning within the deep. Do you follow them?
Where are they going? Are they just circling around him?
They circle you for a few passes before conjoining and start moving off, and it's hard to tell what is up, down, left, right, because without a body, you cannot tell.
Well, he's gonna try and swim after them as best as he can, because any amount of... They clearly didn't seem to mean him any harm. And any amount of light is better than the unknown dark.
And as you try to follow them, it's odd trying to swim without limbs. Not to rhyme, but you compel yourself to follow. this light the only thing that you can see, if that is even what you are doing. But you follow and follow, and they seem to continue and continue, occasionally stopping, one of them stopping to circle back around to make, almost as if checking to make sure you're still tracking them, before satisfied and rejoining the other two. But there is a moment, you're not sure how long you've been swimming. Minutes, hours, days, years. When you feel something slick and cold reach up and grab what would have been a foot, almost entangling into your spirit, and you look back, and there, almost a dark mirror to your guides, you do see 3 intensely glowing red eyes,
Fucker!
hungry and staring, as you hear a voice, if it is a voice, almost vibrate the water, and not to keep sounding like a book record, if it even is water or just what your broken mind is struggling to visualize. You hear a voice go, "You taste familiar. Don't leave. Come back. There is much I can give you here in the deep. Strength for revenge."
There are no words, and there's. If he had a body, maybe he would be gasping for breath from the sudden terror of it. And despite having no more physical form, he does what is essentially the gesture of kicking that thing right in the fucking face. Trying to use it as a jump launch pad to push away from.
And in that moment of struggle, it feels futile. There have been times where something in the water in your life has grabbed you and dragged you under. Terrifying moments, honestly. But this overshadows it, because you know whatever is beneath there is vast, bigger than anything you can imagine, bigger than the islands that you came from. But then there's a moment where there's tension, your essence pulled taut, as something snags upon you, and you feel yourself stretched, like the knot between a immense game of tug of war, but it is your soul that is the rope, and something snaps. Some part of you taken away, perhaps bitterly, as the eyes in the deep recoil, dragging some part of you, as you are snagged and pulled upwards, skyward. And as your tattered, almost shredded jellyfish-like form, like a siphonophore, just battered and torn, barely held together by whatever ectoplasmic connections you have, reaches towards the surface. As you see, it is a surface above you, with maybe stars above, but you're worried that without the support of the deep, what would even be left? But the comforting presence of these 3 lanternfish follow you, flanking you, as you emerge, breaching the surface. And JJ, you have a physical form again, as you realize, snagged onto your tattered imitation of what clothing you had, perhaps shredded from the physical force of the banshee's scream. You've simple fisherman's hook, reeling you in, pulling you. What you see looks to be like a small fishing boat or dinghy. And when you get pulled closer, you see there are multiple fishing poles trailing off, fishing lines trailing off the end, as if whoever was fishing was trawling for many things. And as you're pulled, gasping towards the edge, a red-skinned hand reaches out, grasps you, and helps pull you in.
The shock of suddenly coming back into a physical form, he is sucking in as much air as he can, feeling like he was holding his breath for a millennia.
As you feel like a hand kind of pat you, like giving you a hearty slap on the back as if, helping someone cough up seawater, if that even is what happened. It's so strange. Your thoughts are muddied and murky as if you were still within the deep. And your eyes take a moment to clear before you realize you are sitting in a very quaint, modest rowboat. And there is a man, a tiefling, red skinned, with three short, almost crown like horns sprouting from his forehead, a thick, old, black, salt and pepper beard, salt worn, heavily, suntanned, just this man looking like he has spent his life on the sea as he looks to you with this sympathetic look of concern.
Thanks. Thank you. Thought I was a goner there.
More ways than one there, son.
What are you?
No, maybe. Kind of gives a wry, like, not wry, but more like a rueful, like, small chuckle. Just tell me, how'd you wind up so? Kind of glances towards the edge of the boat, where the only thing lit is a single lantern, almost an exact copy of the fish that had guided you to the surface, uh, hung up on a pole up at the prow of the ship, casting a ghostly blue light. How did you end up so deep?
Hold on. He just kind of is. He's got his clutching his head. Oh, it's all such a mess. I don't remember. Just give me a second. I think. He started to piece it together. I'm dead, aren't I?
Yes, Joshua, I'm afraid you are.
Who the fuck are you then?
Hmm.
No offense, just did expect to see a friendly face.
There's
Especially,
another, like,
yeah, he just kind of trails off.
there's another kind of rueful chuckle at that before he reaches out, kind of places a comforting hand on your shoulder. I am the one that all sailors see before they are taken to the Fiddler's Green. In life,
You?
I was knocked.
Knocked. Well, hope this is not too forward knocked, but, holds out a hand to, it's like, to shake, to shake his hand. Thanks.
He'll shake it. There's like a hesitate. You're not sure if it's hesitation, but there is a pause before he shakes your hand as well. Um,
Yeah, you used a sail, all right. You got the grip of one. Well,
and he kind of smiles at that. But because I'm so sorry, Joshua, for what has happened to you and what is happening to so many others. And
you,
hmm?
You first.
He goes and gestures out towards the sea behind him, and that's the first time that you've taken a look at your surroundings outside of the immediacy of the boat. You are on a vast and still empty sea, mirror-like, as if as reflecting the eternal, blah, 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 the massive shroud. God, I'm sorry. Let me recalibrating.
Mm-hmm. Take your time.
The boat is floating on a flat, waveless sea, mirror flat, reflecting the stars above, as if the boat itself is sailing among the cosmos. But you see the wake of the boat, where the fishing lines trail off, and it's hard to even grasp how many fishing lines there are. Sometimes it looks like just 3, but then your eyes shift and there are dozens upon dozens. As you realize he is searching, if the stories of the new god of death is to be believed, searching for the drowned. Okay, yes, that's the better portrait.
Just trying to help.
Yeah, no, I did have that one. But so many will not be able to pass on, trapped in the web of the mist. Perhaps, despite what has happened to you, my boy, you're the lucky one.
As he looks out onto the sea of lost souls, his eyes go to knocked. Am I, though? All I see is a graveyard that I've filled.
No, there's no blame for you or your friends. The machinations of those that tricked you are ancient and beyond this world. You cannot blame yourself for what hand you carried in that relay.
Yeah, I didn't know everything, but still, it was my call. I saw the rocks and I didn't do a thing to change our course. You say you take sailors to Fiddler's Green. You gotta tell me, boss, what sort of afterlife is waiting for fuck-ups like me?
He kind of gives you this, like, a sad smile as he pats you on the shoulder again. He goes, "That's not for me to decide."
He sits there for a long while, just as the boat bobs in the water. So that's it then. That's my life. Wasn't fair at all. You know, I got dealt a bad hand, but I made the most of it. I swam against the current. I fought my way to the good life. I was happy. Now the world's gonna end because of me.
There is a pained look on this god of death's face, as if he is regretting what he is about to ask. What if you had a chance to change a bit? Change the outcome? I can't send you back, that is not my domain, but... Or I cannot send you back upstream of the river of time, but I can, perhaps... He trails off before he goes. Cast you out of the sea and back to the sea you knew.
You don't sound
But
so
no.
sure about it.
To do so means you will never see the green yourself. To forsake To
Sorry,
forsake your
sorry.
eternal rest, to ensure that others will be able to reach it.
Give up paradise so others can see it. That's what you're offering.
He gives a nod, and he goes, "It is a choice I was not offered, so I give it to you now." And he goes, and like there's like a little fishing tackle box, and he pops it open, and it just looks like a poor man's fishing kit. Very simple, almost maybe hand carved tools, and he reaches in, pulls out what looks to be like a simple fishing hook, like unhooks it from this cork that he has other, fishing hooks stabbed into. But when he holds it out in his, he holds it out in his palm, and it just this little simple fishing hook with a little bit of line trailing off of the loop. In my life, I was a fisherman. I knew how to tie a hook to ensure that my catch would never escape. I knew how to wait, be patient, how to reel in the line, how to set the bait. I am so ashamed to ask you now, Joshua Jones. Should you accept this, he looks to the hook in his hand. You will give up any chance of rest you have, any chance of eternal peace, whatever that may be for your tattered soul. But I would offer you this choice. Become my hook. Become my hand on the mortal world, and we will work to ensure no other disasters like this come to pass. Or that if they do, those that are responsible will not go unpunished.
He sits and digests that. And once again, he starts to hysterically laugh. Oh, shit, old man.
And he
There ain't
just
no
sits
choice
there.
at all.
Yeah, he just sits there watching you with the patience of a man or a god who has all the time in the universe. For that is what death is. Eternity.
Well, shit, old man. There ain't no choice at all. You're giving me a choice. I could go to Fiddler's Green. I could traipse off into that paradise sailors like to talk about, but nah, there ain't gonna be no living with what I've done either way. Might as well do something good about it. Life don't do fair and equal, but death, that should be honest. Assholes shouldn't be able to wiggle their way out of it. And if those evil fucks can keep this shit up forever, so can I. And he'll take the hook.
When you
I ain't
grab
gonna
it,
quit before they do.
there is a look of like a mixed expression of sadness but grim satisfaction, as if he knows that this is what must be done. And as you take this rusted fishing hook from his hand, it is no longer just a simple tool for catching food. So you look down at the hook blade of deep tides as he reaches out and closes your fingers around the handle, both hands taking yours in his as he goes, "This is not a gift, Joshua Jones. It is a burden."
I can work with that. Well, he looks over the rim of the boat back into the black water that he had just escaped. I guess I'll see you on the other side.
But first, let me tell you of your foes. For one of them, some of them, are a great regret. And he he goes to tell you of the Banshee, the widow Cinderella, lied to and betrayed, lied to about the betrayal of her husband, left behind in his final moments to buy time for the survival of his common soldiers. Not his choice, but Noct tells you that he carried out his orders to death proudly. And he whispers something to you. A message for the widow. And then he tells you of Verminash, spawn of Coagula, one of the ancient and powerful vampires from even before the deluge. This is a creature that was drinking rivers of blood before the world flooded. And he says it wishes to drink the last blood of Saint Sanguisuga upon this world. Something that his master, Coagula, craves even more for himself. Verminash hoping that it can propel him even beyond his master. Then he tells you, and you see this look of shame come across his face. Captain Quintus Hollow of the Broken Revenge. You are not the first Hook, JJ, just as I am not the first God to fill this role that I have found myself in. And he tells you that back in the time of the previous God of Death, he says a name, but that name has been erased from mortal and immortal memory, dying with a god so completely that only the divine can remember it. Something that he seems to find very sad as he says the name, only to see you, that look of blank, no recognition on your face. But he goes, Captain Quintus Hollow was the Hook, was the chief Hook of the previous God of Death. Someone who saw souls as wealth.
Oh my god.
A source to be hoarded and collected. You okay, Captain?
What?
Ah, the beast. The ever reliable beast.
And he goes, Quintus Hollow believed, somehow he knew that his master would die, that the god of death itself would succumb. I do not know if he had a hand in it, in what happened to them, but he expected to fill his place when he passed. And when I, a simple fisherman of no name or no repute, no divine spark, was chosen to replace him, he was filled with such hatred and madness, believing that I slighted him personally. And I suspect his allegiance with Nidhogg is an attempt to hurt me. And it does. He is the one of all of them that I personally wish that you can bring an arrest to, a silence. He sailed the seas before the deluge. He is a relic of an age past that cannot be allowed to persist. And that goes for Nidhogg as well. I am afraid, Joshua, that you do not have the strength to face that worm. No, something else must be done about him. But first, you must break his coven, break his cabal. Make sure his plans do not come to fruition, because if he consumes the souls of Modhur, nothing will stop him from unleashing a tide of bone and venom and silk and mist across the rest of the shallow ocean, even beyond the vast sea. Nidhogg must be caged.
I understand.
It's like, well, before I send you back, can't let you go half dressed. As he pulls off what looks to be like a very simple, like, fisherman's poncho, as he drapes it across your shoulders, as you realize it is a mass of writhing, ghostly seaweed.
Well, I guess nothing for it then.
Go forth, Joshua Jones. Good hunting.
And for the last time ever, he's going to take one final breath before plunging back into the dark.
And you dive and are guided by a single lanternfish, guided back to reality. And that is where you emerged, climbing up out of the surf at the docks, in the mist, alone, clutching a metal hook blade in your hand. And that's when you
That's where
track
his
down
story
your
ends.
friends.
Mm-hmm.
So, you've all been caught up?
Yeah, he wraps up the tale.
How's everyone feeling about that?
It was really good.
See,
Yeah.
I'm not Aboleth.
You really fucking got me,
Yeah.
you ass.
Well, there was a
figured
chance he almost
figured he
became
wasn't.
Aboleth bait.
Let's see, I figured he wasn't, but like, didn't know what it was.
He was too chilled out to be Aboleth.
And Everett would have put you on the timetable. You would have been stressed, smoking like a chimney. Like, I got fucking places to go. We can't stand here.
But yeah.
I missed a chunk of that, but I got like the basics. He was sent back to do a task.
I have been condemned to eternal servitude of my own free will. Someone's got to save the day. And I can't do it on my own.
JJ accepted the role of becoming the hook of the god of death. The hook that drags the unwilling into the beyond.
So,
I know it's hard to believe.
Nah,
No.
I'll leave it.
no, not really, because you're standing there.
And, you know, there's a big old Dracolich outside.
Like, I've seen, like, so much shit this last couple days. This is fine.
This is fine.
There's literally the blood of a god in this temple.
I'm still a little pissed at you for making me a criminal, but I think we're past that at this point in time, so I guess I'll help. Not like I'm doing anything else.
Krill just reaches over and just gives him just a light, like just hand on the shoulder, just a very light squeeze, and then it drops.
Good thing you specified hand and not the big pincer. Pop his
No.
arm out of socket.
Snap him in half.
I don't think he would
Probably.
notice at this point.
He probably could with his normal hand, but doesn't, obviously.
Mm.
It's just, just a little quick action reassurance, just like, he's like, if you look into his eyes, you just see Krill just did not doubt you for a second. Because that's just not who Joshua Jones is.
I'm not the Joshua Jones who left you. I'm what's left.
This is
There's a lot about me I don't remember anymore. But I remember you, Krill.
Aww.
he's going to nod, and there's just a slight clacking of mandibles as, it almost looks like he's trying to form words before he tilts his head and just, grunts and follows with, less than half is good enough. Alright. I think you've got a bit more than that.
I wonder how Grund is processing the tale
Yeah.
as the resident necromancer.
Uh,
You're lucky he's wearing baggy pants.
it sounds
Oh, no.
divine. He
was
much
awful.
prefers people coming back as undead when, they do it of their own accord and will rather than as a result of intervention, but it's mildly fascinating. Doesn't really help him become a lich, but it's there's got to be some academic interests, some lessons we take from studying.
What is
Kind of a
necromancy?
pedestrian way to come back from the dead.
I mean, what is necromancy if not bringing people back to life through intervention?
It's a good help from a god, kind of bitch made, honestly.
Well, no, as far as Grund is concerned, necromancy is taking corpses and making them useful.
But yeah.
So,
So did they give me like,
where do we go from here?
yeah, we have any direction?
I
Beyond
have
like,
a message for the Banshee.
oh good, is it punch her in the face? I'd like to do that.
But first, we ought to stop for Minash from getting what he wants.
Krill just does a slow nod at that.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. We should.
Well, let's do it then.
And your brother will
Yeah?
agree to this extreme measure.
Did I tell you about that?
No, he's not saying that as if you told him what to do. He's proposing on his own merits that it may be better to destroy the blood.
Oh. I can't rightly say.
You hear a little whisper. He goes, that would be such a waste of wonderful ingredients.
I'd
As you hear the night hag Lizzie in your
Yeah.
head.
I'd like to go talk to him or go take a look at what's left. Well, I don't think they got any of the blood.
Yeah, there are there are layers of wards. What the Hemogoblin attack did was take out the wards that prevented undead from getting inside, but the wall of force barrier that is still up, and like your brother says, he's like the only person left alive that can drop it now.
Target.
I'll talk to him.
Understand now that Modhur is beyond saving. What we can do now
Modhur
is
was
damage control.
Modhur was beyond saving as soon as we brought that cube here.
So you understand then that even if your brother protests, we may have to do it.
Look, all I care about is if he gets out of here in one piece.
Have him smuggle the blood out, and, like drinking it.
That means the vampire just drinks him.
Yeah, I realized that like halfway through saying that.
It just goes, oh look, my job's easier.
Like
You know,
those
all you have to
jumping.
do is call out Verminash, take out the blood, and immediately dump it into the grass.
God. Oh God. You want to see an ancient vampire debase itself? Just throws itself on the ground like Zoidberg's slurping it up.
Jeez.
But oh God, I forgot what I was gonna say. Zoidberg is too powerful.
I'll go talk to him.
You're still a Zoidberg. You're all still a Zoidberg.
So
But-
you're gonna go talk to your brother?
Yeah. He doesn't
Okay.
agree. We'll have to figure out another way because I'm not letting him die here.
All right, now I remember. I was just gonna say, if he drinking Haruto that's already drinking the blood, it's like those jumping spiders that prefer to hunt mosquitoes that have already fed on blood. The vampire spiders.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah. So rest of you can do what you will. Kita, you go slithering off to find your brother. He was pretty roughed up during the fight, it seems, alongside Madame
Yeah.
Sherritt. I didn't have time to populate the battlefield when y'all came in, but there was bodies of other people from the temple. Like not like civilians, but like the guards and some of the other like low level priests and acolytes. But and also like the remains of. Oh wait, no, she wouldn't have been able to bring undead in. So yeah, see, Madame Shero is there purely on spell casting rather than like controlling minions. But you eventually find
on
your
the-
brother as
Well, on
Huh?
the way there,
yes.
I want to talk to my hag friend.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get some of that. It's far too valuable to just let them destroy it all.
Oh, I do agree. Material like that, there is so much that can be done with even just a drop. The blood of a god of healing. Just imagine it, my dear.
Things we could do with that.
Like incurable blood disease.
Create the Saiyan equivalent of hemogoblins with that.
Fuck.
I'm not joking. I remember the one Warhammer thing. It's like, Nurgle wants the blood of a god so he can make a god plague.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You're consorting
Well-
with witches now, just be wary.
I know. I want to become one. What are you talking about? I am the witch that is doing the consorting. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna say this, Nora. So it's on recording and everything, and everyone knows this. So they know to blame you. But if Kita survives and becomes a hag, she will come back to harass you all later
I
in
know.
centuries.
Look. I know this. I know it's a terrible thing. I know it would be
Ryan
fucking
is going to
awful.
have the worst time.
Yes, but I am not Ryan.
It's just
I'm
just
Kita
wait,
right now.
just wait. It's gonna, whenever if Kita shows up as a blood hag, just Ryan's gonna be like, why do I feel guilty right now?
It's because you're Catholic, dear. You think everything's your fault.
Ew.
I was sort of raised that, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you go to find your brother, and he's
Yeah.
predictably, seeing that he's kind of patched himself up, or maybe his, the acolytes and stuff patched him up forcibly before, but he's like there checking on a lot of the wounded survivors. The doctor that
Yeah.
never stops.
Yeah. I'm betting you healed that you. I'm betting they forced healing on you, didn't they?
He, you know, he, he sighs after like giving someone, like finishing wrapping up a burn on someone's arm, or like bandaging up someone's arm. And he goes, "You'd be correct, sister. I meant to ask how are things going with you?" As he starts looking at another patient.
I need to talk to you.
Can it be done here? I have a lot of patients
No.
here.
You can't.
Kita, how important
I know. It's very important.
Alright, as he gives this deep sigh and then motions, like one of the other attendants to take over with the patient he was just trying to take a look at, kind of slithers off. Basically, you and him go to like what is his like little office, and he just kind of slumps in. Rudo don't have like normal chairs. It's almost like a half eggshell that he kind of just like sits in like a giant cup.
Aw, it's fun. We
There's like those old like 60s, 70s cup shaped, or egg shaped seats, that kind of thing.
are we isolated here? No one can listen in.
Kind of looks around his messy office. Definitely, you can tell he's been sleeping in here. Goes, as far as I can tell, without spending more resources that I don't exactly have at the moment. But yeah, no one's listening in.
I
Close the
don't
door
care.
at least.
Yeah, close the door. I don't care if you hate me after this. What?
Not a great way to
Destroy-
start. Oh.
We need to destroy the blood.
Hmm. Why do you think
Somehow
the
that
answer is destroying
is
it?
more devastating than a scream would have been.
Why do you think destroying it is the only answer to protecting it?
Because we can't protect it long term. They've already broken one of our wards. It's only a matter of time before they do it again. The hemogoblins and hemogres are alone to get in here. They just make they just time it right. A group of them could jump you, and then
They tried.
protection is completely gone.
They tried. I watched people that I had known, seen, when they had come in before, just suddenly burst apart at the seams as their insides tried to kill me. I am well aware of this, Kita. And I know that Verminash could seep in as a mist right now with these wards down.
Then we can't let them get their hands on it.
And I don't intend to. If it comes to them trying to get it through me, I will kill myself.
And then there'll be nobody to stop them from breaking down the barrier. Hell, if you dead, the barrier might just fall on its own.
No, it is designed to prevent. I am
No
the key.
offense. No offense, but I
No
don't
offense,
trust.
Kita. I would really appreciate it if you would stop trying to talk to me like I am an idiot. I may be your brother, but I am the last remaining cleric of Saint Sanguisuga in his temple, and I am not going to defile one of the most holy relics of his religion. I'm sorry. I understand it has to be protected from vermin ash, but this is he trails off and he just kind of seethes as you rarely see him get it's been years since you've seen him this upset.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but there's a Dracolich getting ready to eat an entire country's worth of souls. I don't that nothing we could put up could stop him. You could be completely gone, and he'd still find a way in there. I know it's a lot. It's horrendous for you.
It's
It makes me
quite
feel
literally
ill
the
just
term
thinking about it.
blasphemy.
I know. It even makes me ill thinking about it. I may not follow Saint
There's a
Sanguisuga
moment
like
where
you
he
do.
looks like he wants to say something, but he holds back.
What? What? Come on. No. No, I see that. Let's hear it.
Do a persuasion check,
Ah, shit.
Miss Sorcerer.
Yeah, yeah.
You just fall in the hole again?
Oh.
Sounds like somebody who fell in a hole would say. What?
Wow.
Oh. What the fuck?
And he sighs and goes, "No, I'm not going to tell you, Kita, because that will just cause an argument, and I'm already tired of this argument." You know, if he had a nose to pinch, he would be in like exasperation.
Yeah. We could save some. We could, I don't know, find something to carry it in easier if we find somewhere to go. But
That
it's
is what I
as is.
truly want. I want to be able to take this divine relic from before the deluge to one of any of the other temples of Saint Sanguisuga. Maybe even the Wandering Temple in Gardinia. That's probably the most safe place of anywhere if the mist doesn't spread there. I've met him. They would be. That seems again. I'm thinking, you guys. We need to find a way out of. All right, we need to come up with alternative. We need to preserve Sanguisuga, forgive me for the sin that I am about to say. But even if we can preserve just a portion of it and transport it away and destroy the rest, it looks like he's physically hurting to say it.
Yeah.
But if we can find a way to get it out of Modhur with the survivors, then that might be an alternative.
The god of death, his chosen, is here, and he
There's another intense frown. It goes, is what happened to your friend JJ?
JJ. Yeah. The god of death. Let him come back as his hook.
He kind of like sits back, where he was kind of like leaning forward intently as the argument continues. And now he like kind of sits back and he's like, "Oh, it really is that serious."
Yeah, yeah, it
Old
is.
man,
According to JJ, what he's told us, which I mean, look, with everything going on, I believe it.
I mean, I
If
I did get a
if
divine sense from him when I saw him.
if if the souls get eaten, the entire shallow ocean is doomed.
That would
Blood's
explain the
just a part of
visions.
that. The blood could send him beyond any other vampire.
I know it could make him a rival of Coagula, or at least on the path to becoming a rival to Coagula, without
Worse than Coagula.
without a sibling saint to offset him.
Sanguinsuna would he would understand. I mean, again, if we can save some, that'd be ideal. But we're not in a bad place. We're in the abyss.
Ugh, yeah.
This is the bad place.
Part of being a doctor is realizing or recognizing when a patient is too far gone to save, even with the most intensive of treatment or magic, and Modhur has fallen, even beyond this city. I have seen visions from my god, Hita. A bloody mist originating here and swelling across Modhur. Kolezar the first to fall. And then the mist, once it has swallowed everything here, I see it spreading like a bloody storm across the sea towards the other islands. And not even the storms of the Ruby Empire could blow it away.
JJ has some kind of plan.
That's good. Someone
Don't
needs
know
to.
what it is. What?
He kind of just like, that's good. Someone needs to.
But I don't know what it is exactly yet, but he has something. But that something is not to deal with it. The blood is a separate issue that he also is worried about, because if anyone gets that, it doesn't matter what we do.
It would be hilarious if Verminash gets the blood and immediately ducks out of the plot. I don't give a fuck about Nidhogg!
Nidhogg, it's something we might be able to do something about. The blood right now is something we...
Sorry.
Yeah, the blood right now is something we might be able to do something about. I know it's heretical, but I think if Saint Sanguinsuna is looking down on us right now, I think he'd judge you positively for keeping that blood out of Nidhogg or Verminash's clutches.
I pray you're right, Kita.
If someone's to be damned here, I'll be the one who's damned. I don't give a shit.
That gets him to roll his, like, 6 or 8 eyes in exasperation. You're way too flippant about stuff like that, but I understand what you're getting at.
I don't.
Your
What?
friend seems to have made a great sacrifice to do what must be done, and can only expect the same to be made of us.
Let me know what you decide and how we go about this.
But I am telling you, Kita, if it seems that I am compelled, or saints forbid, turned, and I am about to drop the barrier, kill me. That will keep it sealed at
No!
least for a time.
No! Are you kidding me? You're the fucking cleric of Saint Simonsini here. If anyone's gonna be able to get turned or whatever and, not become their slave, it's you.
I pray you're right, Kita, but
No. Where's that fucking faith that you're all about? Have fucking faith in that.
that gets a laugh out of him, more of a wry one thing. Okay, I know I'm being. Okay, now I know I need to adjust my mood if you're the one telling me to have faith. Okay. I'm so tired, Kita.
Tell me about it. I almost died in that hall.
There were many who did, but I'm glad you were able to survive. Be thankful for those allies you've made.
Allies, yeah. I don't have much in the way of friends.
You hear like a little disappointed, aw. But it was more of like a sarcastic little
Yeah,
aside.
yeah. Don't give me that.
But-
If I can get them all, if I can, I'm not. I'm gonna go see what JJ's plan is now. You keep me up to date what we're doing here with that.
Of course.
We'll go from there.
Of course. So
I'm sorry.
yeah, it's fine. It's okay.
No, it's
No one expects to have to live through a crisis like this.
history. Oh,
I think we
Yeah.
can all relate to. Damn, I wish I weren't living through historical times.
that's exactly what I was channeling there. Nidhogg
Yep.
and somebody else who's a part of this. They're from before the deluge.
Yeah. Sometimes you wonder how bad the world must have been if it was a flood to wipe it away. If you believe those theories about it.
I mean, look who. We had a school dedicated to necromancy. Obviously, plenty of people didn't use it, like we're dealing with right now, but
Yeah.
I'm not so sure the world as it is right now is any better.
No. Well, now that I'm sitting down, I think I'm going to pass out for a little bit.
Good. Sleep. Can't heal anybody if you're fucking unconscious.
You're not wrong. Crass, but not wrong.
Yeah. she'll turn and head out.
So,
And then just
yeah.
like, you close the door behind her when she leaves, just.
And you hear the voice of Lizzie, the night hag. He doesn't trust you with it. You know that's what he didn't say. Does it?
Yeah.
He knows. He suspects that it hurts you to consider it because it would be a loss of potential rather than a blasphemy.
Yeah, he's right though. I mean, I'm still gonna get my hands on it if I can, but like, look, he can hate me as long as he's alive to hate me.
Family. Isn't it so fun? And she trails off for that. For the moment.
Yeah,
'Cause,
well, if this goes how I hope it does, we'll find out.
yeah, because if you remember, you killed her sisters.
Yeah.
But I mean, she went ethereal and never went back to the material because she was like,
Yeah, we killed
oh,
her
fuck.
sisters, but she fucking ditched them to death.
Well, yeah, because she's like, if I go physical, they're going to kill me too. Sorry, girls.
I'm fucking out of here.
Back to JJ.
Yeah, so, did anyone, while Keto is gone, did anyone want to discuss or do anything?
That's
Glenn
your
should
chance to
go
about
talk
stuff you
to
don't
his
trust.
ex.
Yeah,
I mean-
Grin, she did say that she needed to speak with you soon, but she didn't seem too harried.
Wasn't in a big hurry.
Well, I'll go seek her out.
Oh, now that the undead wards are down, Kloop can join you, by the way. You get some dirty looks from the, if he does, fall
I
back
don't
into
need him
bodyguard.
inside for this.
Okay, it's probably best
I'm-
to keep him on watch with the others out, on the perimeter.
Yeah.
But you track down, asking a few people, where Madame Shara was put up. As you find one of the private, like a private hospital room, where like people who are there for like long term or needed to be isolated would be put. As she's in there, seems to be seated at a small, it's a very small, simple desk, and she's like, you recognize her spell tome is open, the black pages within with the silver ink. And she looks up as you enter, or as you appear at the door. Hello, Grund.
Hello. Said you had some urgent matters to discuss.
Yes, as she closes the book, kind of swivels on the stool. As you see, perhaps for the first time in clear light, with the lantern, she would have used like a light something for the room, to give it some light. But as she turns, you see there is a spell scar across the right side of her face, like reaching up from up her neck towards like following the veins, where they're this rich purple, almost black color. It's so dark, like this dark purple, almost black color. Very intense. You can tell it's definitely seems to be like a necrotic magic spell scar. As she looks to you, this looks fairly fresh. She goes, I must say, Grund, Altruism wasn't something I ever expected of you.
It's not altruism, it's pragmatism. Till we can
Hmm.
find a way out of this city, ensuring that there are plenty of other warm bodies between me and the masses is common sense.
Ah, yes, there's that charming wit and pragmatism. You know, you're not wrong, but it is that you. The problem was that you would always be so honest about it in front of the people who just couldn't understand the necessity for the ruthlessness.
Well, luckily, the people who don't understand that necessity are becoming a short supply.
You're not wrong. And soon it will be smaller as she lifts her skeletal right hand up as, almost like not even realizing it as she touches the spell scar. But anyways, did not wish to speak to you, just to comment on your behavior, Grund. What was needed to be said was said years ago. This. But actually, before I ask you something, is there something you wish to ask me?
Oh, what, you want me to dig up our old relationship? I've never been
There,
one
there,
to
she
exhume the
she
past
laughs.
unless it's to build something greater.
She does laugh at that, and there's a moment where maybe some ancient withered part of Grund kind of pangs with like pain at hearing that laugh he used to hear when he was younger. But she goes, "No, no." She kind
No,
of
you suck. Why would I think about getting back together with you?
she trails off as she seems me thinking she. I am perhaps one of the only people left alive who truly knows what Nidhogg is planning, outside of his Addercap minions.
Go on.
The ice that you and your friends brought back. Who do you think told Vithilna where to find it?
Haven't the slightest idea.
No, you are smart. Don't insult me by trying to spare me. I knew where to find the ice. I knew where the coffin was. I knew who to contact to have it cut out, even if it cost them their lives and much more. I just was honestly surprised Bethilna, or Sindrilla rather, would have you be the one to recover it. She always was a spiteful bitch.
Again, are
Have
you
you-
feeling some unresolved
Oh my god.
emotions?
Grund, shut up.
You're the one who
I'm-
keeps bringing it up as if we have any connection left. It's been ages.
Grund,
What, she
I am
picked
dying.
me as if you would. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate for you. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
Wow. God damn it.
She gets this frowning expression that you recognize, like, oh yeah, this is why.
Christ.
Oh, you have
Yeah, good
gotten
lord.
more.
Sorry,
Grund Rancelcraft, you have become even more rancid with.
it's just, if you had applied yourself more to the pursuit of true immortality, this might not be an issue for you.
Why do you.
Good lord.
Grund, Let me
hate you.
lay it out simply. Yes, there was a time in our shared past where there was something more between us, but that is long dead. Far more dead than even necromancers of our shared considerable skills could reanimate.
And yet here you think someone chose me to carry out a task for you as a way to get at you.
Will you let me finish, Grund?
Yes, I apologize.
No, you don't. Sorry, not here.
You are correct, however, it moves the conversation along.
The matriarchs. The Cinderella, she just wants petty revenge against the governor and the people of Modhur for she blames prospering off of her betrayal of her beloved. You see what trouble that causes. She is the simplest of them all, I suppose. But she's the one in charge of the Imbaru generator. That is what you and your allies must destroy. It is the source of the mist. I will not survive to be able to sabotage my former friends much as I wish. Nidhogg's afflicted me with the blight of a curse that is irreparable outside of a lich's touch such as his. Not even my soul will survive. So, Grund, I'm asking you, perhaps out of self-interest, survival, pragmatism, whatever you want to call it, or even if you wish to convince yourself that I'm asking you out of some ancient, dead plea of heartfelt love or desire, I don't care.
The emotion.
All I ask is that you disrupt their plans. Make them suffer. Make them regret. Make them rue ever trying to betray me. This is the only thing I ask of you, Grunt.
Well, I would
Give
like to
me
know how to
vengeance.
disrupt their. I would like to. I would like to know how to disrupt their plans because that at least fits something that I desire, which is to not die here. So, if you have ideas,
You've been
how to
having
do
the
that,
dreams, yes? Of a glacier?
yes.
The heart of the Imbaru generator. The mist that surrounds everything and consumes the souls, or traps the souls of the slain, so the Ettercaps say Ettercaps, but what they are one of my creations as well. I helped them create it. Once allowing the ectoplasmic condensers to drink in the souls to create the nectar Nidhogg is so obsessed with. The Imbaru generator. Nidhogg will return and place what remains of the heart of the coffin with it still inside it. Has it tried reaching out to you? Do you hear it speaking to you? And you're not sure what she means. The glacier visions have been mostly silent, except recently you did see Kloop within it.
You have been hearing voices?
Well,
Many
that's
voices.
unrelated.
Yeah, that's unfortunately unrelated. She goes, if it hasn't reached out to you, it will. Its desire for vengeance exceeds even mine or Cinderella's. Once it is placed in the Imbaru generator, you and your friends must attack. Shatter it. Shatter the cage. Break the generator, and maybe the mist will fall.
That would come. And if the mood strikes me, I'll make people suffer and whatnot.
Grund,
But
I don't care what your mood says. But think of it this, if you need even more motivation. As she leans in, as her voice drops to a whisper. There is much soul nectar that has been created. Do not let Nidhogg drink it. If you must gorge yourself upon it, so be it. Drink the souls of those of the city so that you may bring me vengeance. I don't care.
See, this is why you really should have buckled down and studied how to become a lich the proper way, you know. Looking
You
through all
see
these
her
feeds, you
skeletal
get real
hand
deranged.
You see her skeletal hand twitch with the somatic components for Finger of Death, but pauses it.
No, do it! Do it!
Oh, you don't want this vital information? Fucker?
No!
You don't want this vital information on how to defeat the big bad?
Hey,
Fucker?
we'll
No, we
look
just need to
around for
reach out.
Grund. Hey, what happened? He annoyed me too much. Okay, cool.
That's
just think
fair.
it'd be really funny. We just think it'd be
Honestly,
funny.
I don't know
that's
if he's
all.
worth it.
Grun just shambles in as a normal zombie. It's his bad end.
Yeah. Kloop takes him under his wing, trains him as his meat shield / little brother.
I will do what you ask, more or less. Thank you for giving me vital information on how to possibly get out of this situation alive. Sorry, doesn't really help you with your problems, but
You do give me an idea, though, Grund. You say you wish to put the masses of the living before you. Shield, if you will.
yes.
This hospital is filled with them. It may trick them that this is altruism, but what if they were to attempt escape? That boar in the pirate ship, he's all that's preventing ships from escaping. Him and his ghostly pet. Perhaps you might be able to escape with the flood of humanity escaping once the ways are clear.
That would be a most fashionable means of exit.
My purest desire, Grud, right now is make Nidhogg regret.
Yes, revenge, revenge, revenge. I've gotten that from you.
Good. Well, it was
My
fun
desire is
catching up.
survival.
And there is no survival while Nidhogg flies free.
He says nothing, gives a curt nod, and,
It was fun catching up.
oh,
She
don't
says-
lie.
Lying like any skill is a talent and must be practiced. Quote Garrick.
Garrick
But-
was right.
She, gives this, like, dismissive hand wave, like, you may go now.
And off
Oh.
I go.
Yeah. So, that was Madame Shira.
Whew, she got a case of the crazies.
She's a little upset. Not gonna lie.
Also, she is the kind of person who would have dated Grunt in the past.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh no, you conspired with an ancient evil that didn't go well. I thought wizards had intelligence as their main stat.
They are full of
Well, that's
hubris, though. It counteracts
high
it.
intelligence, low wisdom is usually
It's
the
not even
combination.
wisdom. It's common sense, you piece of shit.
I get like
Wisdom and
I'll
common
say out
sense.
loud for the benefits of the recording. If these two weren't insufferable as individuals, they would have made a horrific couple.
Oh yes. Hilariously.
Their their horridness would be magnified. Like that vampire couple in your Gabe TT, but like 30 times worse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, TT,
Not fun.
TT, good job being just so utterly loathsome.
Yeah, I dislike Grund so much, but he's so fun.
I am everyone's favorite.
I'm going to celebrate the day that you die.
Was Madam Sheriff fun? I had fun.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was fun.
I'm
Horrible
sorry I was
person.
mean.
Oh no, it's appropriate, Grund. It really was. It's like, oh yes, this is why I called off the wedding, right?
God damn, you want
be
me
like,
to go to a
wow.
wedding?
It's like, you guys got that part? Holy shit.
She has fucking
I may
horrendous
have just
taste.
made that up on the moment, so who knows?
No, it's fine. Like, I'm just assuming they were really young and really dumb and slightly less horrible than they were now.
Yeah, I think it was they were both at the academy together.
It's, hey, we work really good as lab partners. We should get married. And like right before, like, wait, you're okay in the lab, but you suck everywhere else. No.
You match my freak, and I don't like that. Only I deserve the spotlight.
But they just kept fighting for the spotlight.
God.
Let us arrange a plan then.
Yeah. Madam
Yeah.
Shara, I'll just say, part of her inspiration might have been a little bit of tarantulas. So,
Oh, so
might be a good thing
mad
she's not gonna
scientist who is
survive.
a mad scientist who is really not over the fact they got dumped.
Well, maybe not that extreme. She's the one who did the dumping.
True.
You know, she wished
I
it
do
was a
love that
dumping
of
off
the
a
two,
cliff.
Prowl was the toxic one in Tarantulas' relationship.
Yeah.
The motherfucker you gotta be to show up Tarantulas. I know he's not the exact same in IDW, but it's like, I love eating people. Holy shit, you're evil.
Well, he did that in IDW as well.
He's. I don't
Before
know.
this is
he-
done, I'll have done something weird to everyone.
God, that's such a great line.
God, it is.
That's a Grund line, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us all reconvene and draft
Yeah.
a plan.
So,
Yeah.
now, I will say that there will be, after you make this plan, there will be another short little time skip.
Okay.
Because you're all kind of beat up from the day, too, so you're going to need a rest
Yes.
anyways.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was really funny. It's like, oh, you want to be alone? Here, get webbed and reeled.
Yeah. I know what I did.
It's not like I gave the Eder caps the rope or reel ability if someone's in a web.
Get over here.
So, yeah, you gather back up. Kita comes slithering out as Grund reappears. Alright, Kita reappears as Grund comes slithering out.
Yeah, that is more accurate, to be honest. Well, he's not happy about it, but he's at least aware that it might be a necessity. He wants to save some if he can, but if as long as he gets out of here alive, I don't give a fuck.
I may be a little biased, but I don't think any of us are getting out alive.
And you better fucking think of a way that he gets out of here.
He's pulling up the map of the city.
You need me, JJ.
He doesn't respond. We're here. We need to find wherever Nidhogg is going to shack up. If I had to guess, it may be here, at the bank.
Would make a lot of sense. It's pretty fortified.
Fortified and of personal significance to him.
Yeah, technically tell
Significant to him.
Besdius. Yeah, if you want to do a religion check. Or if anyone wants to do a religion check.
Yeah,
Sure
do that.
thing!
Because the Dragon's Vault Bank is technically another temple.
Do I have religion? I don't have religion.
13.
Let's just roll it for fun.
I'm gonna guidance that.
And, I mean, it's not a super difficult one because, you know, it's right there in the Grand Marketplace. It's one of the biggest structures there. But yeah, you know, 14, 15 would be enough. So, what's that?
My work-addled brain is blanking. How exactly did she? What was the specific term she used for the thing we got to destroy? To
The
shut
Mbaru.
it down?
Yeah, Mbaru, fun fact, is the Sumerian word for mist. So,
Yeah, so the Inbaro.
Mbaru.
Inbaru, and it's in the glacier.
No, it is. She didn't say where it was because you get the feeling she's not sure where Nidhogg set it up, but she says it is. Actually, the matriarchs. Actually, you know, the spirit. She said that Nidhogg was going to make his lair where she would be his right hand, situated in the ziggurat, because she was going to make that her web. So, yeah, the Dragon's Vault Bank is right next door to it, you know, right below it. But for the religion checks, the Dragon's Vault Bank is it's the Bank of Kolazar. But it is also the temple of Tel Besdius, the dragon god of the count, you know, of money, economy, and, you know, wealth, and markets. So if this Nidhogg truly is of, you know, the first clutch, Tel Besdius is kind of like his great uncle in a roundabout way. Because Tel Besdius was one of the children of Koifore, the prismatic mother, the dragon goddess who arrived to Rukor and then split herself to create the dragon clutches.
Seems like the bank is the most likely spot.
Yeah. The bank does make sense. That is, if he is truly from before the deluge, before everything, that's like 2 steps removed from his house.
So good
Captain
as
Quintus Hollow will be out in the bay, of course.
I was given some information. Our main target, the one that we must destroy if we wish for anyone to get out of this alive, is the Imbaru generator. Is what is powering Nidhogg and all of his chicanery. Problem is that my old acquaintance wasn't sure exactly where it is. Likely is being guarded by the matriarchs of the Ettercaps.
Or what's
Oh, you
left
have
of
her
them.
soul, but it would be. She said that the Banshee is now probably the one in charge of guarding it.
Likely guarded by the Banshee.
Mhm.
And also there are
Not
some
sure, JJ.
sort of pool of stolen souls that, if Nidhogg drinks from it, it will result in a very poor situation for all of us.
That
well.
sounds like the bank is our most likely target.
Does
It's the goodest place to start as any, anyway.
it's the closest to a holy place for him.
And if it's important to him, Centrilla will be there.
What do you just want like to get revenge on her for what she did to you, or do you have like a point?
Krill, yes. Since Raven's not here for that.
like I'm not like I'll go for it. I do not
Ooh, I do
care.
love a good revenge
but-
story. You hear popcorn popping.
Yeah, like go for it. I'll help you if that's what you want, but I get the feeling that's not what you're looking for.
He kind of stares at you for a long time, and you can see
So-
gears are turning.
Just to rewind a minute for Raven's sake. Kita, they're discussing where to maybe track down things, and Grun revealed that Syndrilla, the Banshee, is probably going to be the one in charge of guarding the generator. And Kita asked, "What was it? Is this just for revenge for you?" And I imagine
Yeah,
Krill's probably
I get
just
the
like,
feeling that
"Yes,"
there's more to it.
but Krill's
So is
probably
that
just
true?
like. No, she was asking JJ. It's like, so is this just vengeance for you, or is there something more? But Krill's just like, yes. When asked if
Oh,
it's just
so-
for vengeance.
Yeah, Phil doesn't say shit though. He just turns on and just stares.
But yeah, JJ, your head
Yeah.
wheels were spinning.
Right. Yes. Yeah. You asked that question, the gears are spinning. After a moment, it's like, I want revenge on them all.
That kind of answers my question.
Fuck.
Bless
Bless you.
That's you. Let's kill a ghost.
you. So you're gonna rest up for the night and prepare to go investigate the bank.
Please, I'm
Yep.
so hurt.
What?
Please,
Oh,
I'm
right.
so hurt.
What's your HP?
Oh God.
I know it was lower at the end of the fight because one
After
of the.
after being healed, I'm at 30. I
Okay.
was at single digit
Nice,
for a minute there.
nice.
That's if that Necromancer had done Circle of Death, he would have killed his friends, yeah, but I would have also been dead.
That would have like nuked the entire place. I forgot how big Circle of Death is. It's absurd.
Yeah, but
People
like,
forget how big 60
I
feet
mean,
is.
his mistake to not actually do it, because oh my god, he would have killed at least me, at the very least.
Oh
Instead,
god, that's
he
like
got
nuking the
fucking
city.
murdered.
But so you begin to so evenings comes. There are like a few. Oh yeah, is there any other discussions wanting to be had?
Nope.
Or
Sleep first.
Nothing that I can think
Okay.
of.
okay, so night comes and hold on, I'm getting a phone call. Mute. Okay. Try to call Mom, try to call the other kid. Or other kid. um but oh yeah, evening comes and or like night comes and there are a few attempted incursions, seemingly of like the feral undead or just ghouls that are, the ghouls that seem to be free roaming now. They seem to be curious about it, but thanks to the diligent efforts of, your group and the rest of the survivors, uh, nothing serious happens. You know, and actually, Kloop is actually there to help. Help at night. But as you fall asleep, some of you may be a little more reluctant because of certain events. And sure enough, when each of you eventually falls to sleep, not simultaneously, but you all dream of the vast bleak glacier of endless ice and whirling blizzard winds. But for the first time, even as you, Grund, in your dream alone, you follow behind Kloop with clusters of ice seeming to grow and build layers of frost. Oh, that's sad, JJ. But through the keening wind of blizzard winds, you start to hear a voice as you, somewhere in your dream, realize that you're getting closer to your destination after all this time of just endless walking. Vengeance. You must disrupt. They disrupt my slumber. This prison. And you just, it feels the dream stretches on further and further. Did that come through, by the way?
Yes.
Yes.
And you just seem to keep going. And finally, there were occasional broken, jagged pieces of the landscape, but they were never really big, like, not even like, like bigger than head height for you as you're traveling along. But there in the distance, there's like a brief clearing in the blizzard where you see, jagged and broken as if something stabbed up from beneath the ice, a spire of black ice that seems to absorb whatever ambient light from whatever distant sun tries to shine through this through the wind and the snow, and the voice comes clear. Make my prison theirs. And you awake. Grund, though. Grundy.
Yeah?
You wake up to see Kloop standing over you, the ice clutched in his hand, held for so long that a has gathered on his hand. And then he blinks, his eyes that were glowing, that blue light clearing, and they're back to that milky, those milky dead eyes. And then he like seems to realize his hand is frozen. He's like tries to pry the ice out of his.
Oh, Kloop. Well, let's find another corpse. We're gonna have to do a graft.
It's just a little frostbite. I just need a snack.
If you
Starts
can't let
nibbling
go
on
of
his
that
own
crystal,
fingers.
we're going to have to craft another arm onto you. You've got to get used to these. The older you get, the more you'll need.
You go to find him a new hand. Like he does like crack the fingers off. They're not like breaking them off, but just like peeling them off from the ice.
Auto cannibalism, yay!
Let's put the ice fragment into a nice safe-ish container for now.
Yep, he puts it back into the same one he was carrying it in. But yeah, so he all of you woke up hearing that, having that dream. But yeah, night comes and goes. Kloop has to get, he gets away with only needing a few fingers replaced. Don't have to replace the whole hand. But morning comes. The temple seemingly relieved that without the undead wards, nothing slipped in to drain them dry. And no more people burst like balloons, or water balloons, full of horrible jelly.
That's good.
That's always good.
I will BRB. I need to go grab a drink.
Okay.
We're all gonna end up in an ice cube together.
It's fine. We all signed up to die.
Yes, we did.
Purposely
Some
made
of
a
us sooner
character
than
that we'd
others.
want to die.
It's just some of us are gonna come back. It sounds like. If Grund gets even close to getting anywhere near Lichdom, Erdrin is going to kill him before that happens.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Krill is also basically decided once Grund has outlived his usefulness, he's dead.
I'm sorry, Grund. I can't let you be a lich because then Grund will show up in Brian and
come
Ty.
on!
I don't want it.
He's gotta be a lich. It's his one dream.
I don't want it.
Since he was a little
But
boy, he wanted to live forever and do whatever he wanted, and being a lich is the best way to do that.
But
You
I
can't
miss.
deny him his boyish dream.
I told
Everyone
TT
is
that
conspiring to kill Grunt.
if he gets
Fan favorite grunt, it's jealousy is what it is. It's jealousy.
no, if he gets even close to being a lich, I'm going to kill him. I don't want him to reoccur in Brian and Tide.
No, that's fair.
I will not let that stand.
Would be fun to kill him with Ryoko though.
It would actually.
Or elegy.
It would actually be fun to let Ryoko kill him.
Why are you stabbing yourself?
Oh, something I probably should be medicated for.
Do you...
um,
The worst thing you could possibly do is, rewrite what's in that fucking iron flask to be Grund. It's the worst possible thing you could do.
Yeah, that would be really funny.
Now Ryoko's really justified in not wanting that shit opened.
He was so annoying, and his phylactery hidden in the dumbest place. No one could find it. The only way to get rid of Grund, bottle him.
Yeah, that's why the Empress was just like, oh, just get him away. Amontillado his ass.
It's like, you can't stop me. I'm basically invincible.
Well, have fun in the longest timeout ever.
No.
Oh, morning comes. What do you all want to do? Actually, your plans to go investigate the bank are perhaps derailed. Actually, I want to see. Did you all does anyone ever bring up these dreams?
I think Erdrin brought it up the first time that he had them. Like, did you all have that shit?
Yeah, you guys mentioned them before, but no one's ever mentioned that. Yeah, those dreams persisted after we handed off the box.
I'm sure Grund is keeping that information close to his chest. The fact that he's been receiving different visions.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll see. I'll
Ron
ask.
doesn't know if they're important. He doesn't believe in that fucking messages about the future bullshit.
Yeah, just look at how he reacted to the tarot reading. What were you saying, Erdrin?
He'll bring it up. Like, everybody else is still having those ice dreams, right?
Been dreaming about our nightmare situation, yes.
Like the ones we had on the ship before we dropped that thing off.
Yes, the perilous omens.
Well, you're just about as helpful as ever. Thank you, Grunt. Anybody else?
Kira back yet?
I was just gonna say, Krill does a slow nod.
I'm trying to wonder if JJ even sleeps. I don't think he does.
No.
Just endless pacing.
Yeah. Revenants don't really, like, sleep as I think the rules go. They just kind of sit there and not do anything.
Kind of like Warforged do.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so JJ, you would have seen it, but it was more like a waking hallucination.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of felt sleep paralysis like.
Joints
Where you could feel your
froze up.
physical body, but you could feel your physical body sitting there wherever you had plopped yourself down to rest, but then when it started, it's just like, oh, this is weird. It's like you're having a weird trip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, imagine taking some Void Mother's dream in this place. Void Mother, you can bet, is not happy with what's going on here.
Yeah. A lot of stuff to prune.
Oh, this is like, it's like, oh, this is, we gotta burn and slash everything here. Let it lie fallow for a while, for a couple seasons. But Um, so yeah, sorry. Didn't mean to cut people off when discussing the dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So Krill confirmed that he's having them still.
Yeah, I just wanted to confirm that everybody else was still having them, and does anything change for anybody else?
It's all the same ominous, meaningless nonsense.
So,
And helpful.
JJ's the only one that heard the disrupt my slumber thing, right? Or did everybody else
No,
hear
that was Grund.
No, everyone did.
Okay.
Oh, just so everyone heard that.
Yep.
Okay, that does kind of change things.
You heard the voice at the end?
Mm-hmm.
Another nod.
I'm not religious. You can tell. Oh. But was that? And he's looking at JJ. Like, was that
No. That was something else.
Okay. Encouraging. I love that we all have these dreams and all these problems in real life, and now there's somebody talking to me in my fucking sleep.
Could be worse.
Could it?
Oh, you're back.
Be dead already. We could be dead already.
I think at this point that would be better.
By the way, would Kita?
Smith.
By the way, would Kita confirm that she's also having the glacier dreams
Yes.
and heard the voice last night?
Yes.
Okay.
There's no reason to keep that a secret.
It offers us a solution.
Kind of. But well, not. You're all most of you are a bright group. It's pretty much this dream is confirming what Grund said, or what Madame Shura told Grund about.
There's something inside the.
Yeah, because they constantly referred to it as an ice coffin. Something like the matriarchs. She didn't outright explain what it was, but she was talking about the mechanisms like the condenser. She said that whatever was trapped in the ice was such a powerful undead force, it tainted the ice itself.
So then that's
Which is why they were interested in the ice.
That's not.
Nidhogg doesn't control the box. He's only appropriating it.
That's what I was wondering, because like undead like that have something like that holds their personality and will and whatever, so you can't kill them permanently, and that's not what that is. Then that's something else.
Yeah, Grudge, you would know the ice and whatever is in it would not be like a phylactery or like a soul jar. Grund would be able to confirm that, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright then. So I imagine that thing is just as pissed as everybody else is about this entire situation.
It's a prison. One we may have to open.
It might just be inviting more trouble.
Not
Perhaps
to
the
let
troubles
them
would
out.
fight each other.
The point isn't to let whatever's in there out. It's to let the ice out. We can't stop Nidhogg. We have to trap him.
Shit.
Are we letting this thing out so we can put Nidhogg inside?
Or are we just like stuffing them both in there and just hoping that they hate each other in this situation?
Remind me, was it established that the box was only slightly opened? Because we did that patch job, did we not?
Oh yeah, it had. Well, that was the thing. Even that's why Grund had Kloop and the crew try to create a lead box around it. It was just wood. It was just a wooden crate with, it's not going to protect against magical auras. You need like specialized containers, which JJ, when you and Krill, I think it was you, JJ, message from Joloth saying, "Hey, something's weird. The dock crew's gone, and I saw the boss walking out with the crate with that, or walking out with the crate, and then you saw it, or Krill saw it without the shell, like they had left it behind."
Yeah.
But
basically, when we found the box, we thought maybe the concern would be what happens if the box, that all of this trouble would have started if the box was opened. The solution may, in fact, to be to open the box.
Yeah,
because
it's kind of funny how a magical contraband with an aura with the box getting opened kind of kicked off both the campaigns.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, you saw how the box reacted with only just a tiny breach. All of those icicles.
And Grund, it's up to you if you mentioned that. Certain ghoul that's often in close proximity to the group has had a piece on him this entire time.
I may have recovered a stray piece.
Could you use that shard to track the rest back to the source?
I don't know, can we?
Do an Arcana check. Actually, you would need to go. Well, do you want to go recover the piece from Kloop because he's still outside? But it would be easier if you had that
separate from him, correct?
Oh yeah, you held on to it. You didn't give it back to him.
No, it's freezing his hand off.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you would have it on hand. So yeah, do an Arcana check. God damn.
Jesus.
By opening the box and performing some, identification rituals. I don't know if you have identified, but whatever. You like give it the necromancer CSI once over, looking it over, examining it, and you think that maybe it is a piece of a larger whole, something that has been together going by the age of the ice, that if you could guess, and supposedly how long this thing has been sealed up, this is, there's a good chance that, you could theoretically use this to track down other pieces of it.
It is possible.
Because they are using the shards of ice to power the mist generator.
Yeah, because
if we find like the highest concentration of it, probably might be where the bank is.
Yeah, because because Nidhogg, when he was doing his proclamation, coating the island, basically crop dusting it, simultaneously outbreaks of mist began to arise from both the canal, the river, and the many various like freshwater fountains that are throughout the city. Because this place was built with aqueducts in mind and canals and stuff. But there's probably smaller mist generators or those ectoplasmic condensers, because from what you got from the matriarchs, and just from the amount of small bits of shards of ice they were breaking up, it looks like they were setting up multiple. Because with that also with that Arcana, Grund, you probably pieced together the ice is being used for the two different devices. The main coffin, the core of it, is being used for the Embaru generator, while the ectoplasmic condensers are using the smaller broken off pieces. Which you still have some charges on the matriarch's soul, I think, if you wanted to peel her soul for more information.
Alright. I really did want to suck out her life force to restore my own, but I guess I'll use it to
There's multiple charges, so...
Get some fucking information.
Yeah. Hey, this isn't the DM saying this is when you do that. I'm saying that's still an option if you want. I'm not saying that's what you have to.
But I'm going to.
I know this game's kind of on the rails, but I'm not trying to put everything on the rails. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I was doing that in character, not in actual complaining.
So
I'm trying to find the item.
Oh yeah, well, it's the spell Trap the Soul, right? Or Soul Cage?
Soul Cage.
Yeah. Just where are you, little fucker?
It is not in the compendium, but I can provide it again.
Here, I can post the... Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, because you can query the soul, steal life, borrow experience to give yourself advantage on something. And there's Eyes of the Dead, that kind of thing.
Alright. What would be a useful way to phrase this question?
Well, there's multiple things you could ask her. You're asking the Ettercap matriarchs. Yeah, it's up to you guys what you want to ask her.
Where is the Embaru generator?
Just outright asking it.
Yep.
As you see, you pull out... Oh, that's what the spirit says as you pull out the skull, the pearlized skull, put it down on the ectoplasmic overlay of the matriarch's Ettercap. Head appears over like a ghost shroud. And she looks up at you. You're not sure if all spirits would be this free-willed, or maybe she's just a little bit more special, being a a skilled necromancer like yourself. Obviously not as skilled. Y'all killed her, but she looks at you. So you know of the generator.
Tell me where it is.
Yes. Nidhogg's lair was to be... My lair was to be his right hand. Where does all water flow from this city? Around which temple was it founded?
That would be the Temple of the Water Goddess in the Upper City.
Right next to the capital ziggurat.
Oh.
There, Cinderella and the rest prepared Nidhogg's lair for his arrival, if he has not arrived already.
Well, looks like we were off the mark with the bank.
It was a good guess, though.
Thank you, evil
No, it was.
spider.
No, like I was going, like if you guys went there, find this place that it was a holdout, but it got overrun, and not a pretty sight.
I'm pretty sure those fuckers would be still asking for their mortgage. Even in death.
So, okay, so because, you know, it's me making a setting, while they are the god of the economy, it's a healthy economy. They're not a god of capitalism.
Well, that's how you know the bankers have become zombies. You have to pay your mortgage.
Oh, God.
They're still waiting behind the counters.
Don't do that. God.
No.
The zombie bank.
If you don't pay up, we'll send the zombie IRS.
It's just the normal IRS.
Yes.
But she goes, the embargo generator will be complete when Nidhogg places the coffin within it, after he has finished coating the islands of Modhur with the mist itself. It must be sown like a field, so the harvest may be rich.
Is this where Grun says "cool" and then eats her soul?
You'd have 2 more charges from this. Yeah, Grun.
You could want to use one of the features to actually get eyes on the location.
If she's been there.
If she's been there, that's true.
Have you been there?
You want to use a charge to ask her that?
Yep.
She goes, no. I was to prepare my lair before going to assist in his.
That's one charge
And you're
left.
useless to me, and I suck her soul out.
And there's this horrible scream as you see Grun Shang-Tsung the soul.
He just takes out the crazy straw.
The
Well, that was
necromantic
worthless.
crazy stuff.
It's a lot of gloating about their evil plan.
But now the pearl is empty again, so you can recharge it. You know, chop in a different soul if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a reason why the hags had a Dead Man's Clan. They like these things.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like our destination is sent. The Temple of Axis.
So, alright. Is that what the rest of you wish to do?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much what we want to do is go directly where we have to kick somebody's ass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, as you all prepare to head out for the day, unfortunately, sorry, I was watching the ring change colors. It was mesmerizing.
And this is why you would get eaten by a cuttlefish.
Yeah.
I mean, oh
no. So, as you get ready to head out once more into the mist-shrouded city, unfortunately, there are screams and bells of alarm. As you find your day suddenly occupied, we're not going to do all this combat because we've been through this. We'll say that you're very effective now, especially with a certain revenant built for killing undead. There is a near endless tide, not continuous, but constant waves, random and without warning, that of undead merging from the mist, throwing themselves at the gates of where you've been forced to defend, falling back from the walls. And they keep you pinned. They keep everyone pinned in this temple for a day, 2 days. and the anxiety begins to get to you and everyone else in this temple as you just find yourselves stuck. But the second day, in between waves, you, Krill,
Mm-hmm.
someone actually spots you in the crowd and trails through as you recognize. For a moment, you're like, oh, this is one of the groups that made it in today. You think because despite the amount of undead, actually, because of this, there were several groups that ran in pursued by these undead. Seemingly, some of you might be a little suspicious after speaking with, or hearing some of the stories. Almost feels like they're being herded, the survivors, towards this area. But in one of the groups, they spot you. Krill, you're tired and bloodied. Most of it not your own. But when a figure steps out and goes, Krill, is that you? By the branches
Turns.
above. As you turn and see a much more haggard Captain Thorpe, the captain of the cockatrice that had transported you all to recover the coffin.
Huh.
I shoot him.
Ah, okay, that popcorn's done.
No, no.
Wow.
It's a trap.
Well, Krill's gonna look at him for a minute, then he's gonna raise a hand and make a like follow motion, and he's gonna lead if Captain Thorpe follows.
Yeah.
He's gonna lead Thorpe over to where some of the other people, some of our group are. So
Yeah.
he doesn't have to talk to him.
And he tries
You're
talking
engaged.
as you're leading him.
Like, what does he say?
He's like, it's like, oh, I was, I guess it shouldn't be a surprise. Big old bruiser like you knew some zombie's gonna bring you down that cat. And just like,
Oh,
so glad.
he's trying to like chat him up and shit.
Yeah, because you're someone he recognizes through this hell because he's not from Modhur. His ship was just passing through.
Like, at most, Krill will give a grunt now and again, but he really doesn't answer anything.
Yeah,
Who's the first person of our group that he runs into?
yeah. Who would be the first?
I don't know.
Well, I guess it would be whoever would be helping defend at that moment with Urdrin. Not Urdrin.
I'm sure he
Krill.
would recognize JJ after a moment.
But
It's like,
yeah.
JJ, when'd your skincare go to hell?
It's like, whoa, JJ. He's like, sees you, and it's just like, end of the world treating you rough, brother?
You could say that.
Yeah, no one's doing well these days. As you see, he looks beat to shit. Definitely has not been a easy, like, at this point, to be like a week since the Night of the Mist.
He's probably on or around the docks when they got blown to hell.
Yeah. And he goes, so crazy, and then you actually gather up the others. He goes, it's real crazy that you're all still here. Can't even track down my crew anymore. But she's just like, so those dreams not get any better for the rest of you?
No.
No.
Yeah, same. With the mist, they got worse. They got worse.
It was the best of Shires, it was the worst of Shires.
But he's just so Yeah, that he just seems kind of like lost for words as I'm suddenly realizing I threw an NPC without realizing what they would say to lead to the next plot point.
Mhm.
So what
He
happened
goes,
when you were down at the docks when that shit happened? What's the
so,
situation down there?
I wasn't actually at the docks when things went bad. Was just leaving the festival, honestly. I was heading down there. I was going down to the Narrows when, shit went bad. And managed to get down to the docks just in time to see that ghostly ship bombard everything and went down there and I saw some ships try to escape and I think they have a whale. Something it's like it was the most translucent whale I've ever seen. I'm not trying to say it was a ghost whale, but it certainly looked like a ghost
It's a
whale to
ghost
me.
whale.
It's probably
It was a
ghost
ghost
whale.
whale.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so yeah, I saw it like half swallow a ship, but then just swim right through it. And from what I could tell by the way the ship listed, that it probably ate the souls of whatever it swam through. That's just me guessing, but that's would be my guess for how shit things have gone. I wish I was back in the Dominion.
I mean,
Yeah, he's a branch elf. That's probably where he was born. But good news. The cockatrice, for whatever good it is, still afloat. Seemed they were mostly focused on those that were still sailing and destroying the Navy ships while they were all at port.
well, I guess they figured that they would be able to keep everybody else here without worrying about you know how they would keep them here because they don't have no guns.
JJ,
Mhm.
there's a moment where you just have this flash of a vision of seeing large amounts of ships gathered from the other city state islands of Modhur. And one of one at the foremost of it is the cockatrice, packed to the gills with undead sailing out to the rest of the ocean. You gotta transport all those undead somehow.
That's why they haven't sunk the ships. Vessels for their new army.
Oh, now I wonder if I should have sank it.
Don't worry. It won't come to that.
And JJ,
Mhm.
once again, you feel this like tug. It's very similar to when you felt that hook latch onto your shoulder, as if like something was turning you, and you turn your head, and there is another vision where you see Quintus Hollow standing at the wheel of his ship, and you get this feeling that's who you should kill first.
Because it opens the way.
That is how you save the most souls. Give them an escape out of the mist.
Because, yeah, once we open the box, that's game over. Nobody's escaping. But if we want people to live and escape, then we need to open the way.
Probably
Does JJ tell the group
sooner
this?
rather than later.
Yeah. He relays that,
Sorry, Raven.
that plan.
No, that's fine. I was just confirming.
So we're not gonna go talk to the ghost first?
Wait, which ghost?
What's her name?
The matriarch, she got slorped.
Yeah. No, not that one. The
Oh, the Banshee.
Banshee.
Yeah, the Banshee.
They've been
Well,
trying
remember,
to keep us
there's
in
also
here.
the detail. The coffin's not there yet. Nadog's
Yeah.
still flying around. You have to wait
Yeah.
for him to return and install it into the Embaru generator. And
Yep.
currently, the myths, as far as you can tell, are being sustained by something.
The junk device, I imagine.
Yep. You would assume they're involved with that. But you actually haven't gone to investigate any fountains or anything to, hint, hint.
Well, there is one not too far away from the temple. JJ can probably
sure on the way.
investigate the fountain, because while the undead are trying to keep us in here, JJ can get out easily. He just hasn't made any moves because, he may be undying now, but being killed is still an inconvenience to the plan.
Yeah. Also, Kina,
Yeah.
the idea of ships escaping. Your brother
That
could be
could.
on a ship
Hmm.
with a vial of
Yeah,
something.
yeah. I know.
Sorry.
That was immediately like, okay, well, there's a way for people to leave, so that was like I know.
Well, then
Just
Grant's
gonna have
thinking,
to-
oh yes, the masses of people to hide among to escape.
Dressed
So
as a
let's just
woman.
push him overboard. What?
The classic thing of, oh, if I dress as one of the women or children, I can escape with all the peasants.
Like
No,
Billy Zane from the Titanic.
With that one fucker from the Hobbit movies.
Mhm. But so, what's the plan?
He's doing the
Okay,
math in
how
his
do we
head.
want to fuck? Okay.
First of all, we
Huh.
need a way out.
I mean, I'm perfectly willing to, crew the cockatrice. This is a city of sailors. I'm sure there would be plenty of people to fill in the gaps for the crew. And I'm willing to take as many people out of here as possible. And I'm sure we could find other ships that would be willing to do as well.
We just have to make a
There will be
way.
no sailing
taking the
until
people-
Hollow is slain.
Yeah, and you're taking people from this temple with you.
I assume that would be the plan. I don't want to leave people behind. Nobody deserves to die in the streets like this to rise up some shambling mess.
Definitely does not side-eye Grund.
Run.
Wow.
Not Noda.
Gren knows to sit his white ass down.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why he's still not invited to the cookout. Chigo didn't drive him there.
Chico's not
He's
his
single.
wife.
Mm-hmm. But
But
yeah. First things first, we need, with all these undead trying to keep us in the temple from not moving, probably because word got out that, oh, they might actually know what to do now. We need to keep them
Also-
pinned.
the cockatrice would be. He said it was still docked by the Prism hideout. So it'd be like right around there, like among these docks. So it would be fairly quick to go down the Prophet's Causeway to get survivors out that way. So there's at least that.
That's good. We just need
But
a sure, straight shot that would get the most people out without them, being overrun on the
yeah,
street.
I'll also just say that you'll probably want to clear the way before coming back to tell the people. It's like, hey, we got an avenue of escape. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Because You don't want to
Yeah.
go rushing into combat with a bunch of injured civilians trailing behind you.
Oh, absolutely
Yeah,
not.
no, that's ghoul bait.
Literally. So, yeah, there is a like a plaza nearby that has a decent sized fountain.
Hmm.
We should, yeah, take a look at that. Well,
Yeah.
JJ should take a look at that.
He can cover a lot of ground as a rogue. He might be able to catch
Yeah.
if. The thing is, he needs to know what
That-
he's looking for, because while he does know certain things now, he's still not a wizard.
You can take Grund with you.
Right, yes.
Yes, classically
Grund
stealthy
should-
Grund.
Grund should come with the Revenant, sent by God,
Hmm.
to deal with evil liches.
This won't go.
Yes, this plan is swimmingly.
Yeah, this won't go bad.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Swimming.
Does that
But
count
yeah,
as a
no, like,
microaggression?
Grund probably should be the one to check them out, actually. Because he's the necromancer.
Does it count as a microaggression to make jokes about how a revenant died?
No,
I
it's
don't know,
called
they're kind of
gallows
a
humor.
I don't know, they're kind of irreverent.
It's called gallows humor, and I love it.
What? What?
The beast does not approve.
What? Good lord. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come hang out with me. Okay, beast acquired. She should stop
So-
screaming now.
Someone is going to stealth around and try to go take a peek at this fountain to assess it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, are you going to try to go by yourself, considering you're very stealthy with a certain item?
Hmm. Yeah, that's exactly the thing. Like, it's not a matter of whether or not he can make it there. He can, but it's what will he know what to look for. That's why I recommend bringing an expert by some means, because I think Grund has a spell or two to teleport, or at least like.
I have
flash
Dimension
step.
Door.
Yeah. You can help. You and I can get out into the fountain easily.
But, Gren, do you
Yeah.
have invisibility? Because that would help us stealthing around.
Unfortunately, I don't, because I didn't expect Grund to actually do a lot of things before he died. I mostly just have things that are combat oriented.
I'm sure he's cursing himself a little bit now.
So-
Stealth is for minions.
So, are you going to go with them?
Yeah.
So,
Girl will go with as well. He can be somewhat stealthy.
okay, so rest of you are just staying behind as they go off.
do you want me to come
Yeah, I'll
with?
keep
I
an
have
eye out.
pass without trace.
That would not be a bad idea.
I'm not
I mean,
stealthy.
with that, the whole group might be able to go.
Yeah. Yeah, pass without trace would help us all out, and we would stick together in case something happened.
Yeah, because you have to be within 30 feet of me.
Oh, I hear purring.
Yeah, she's happy.
Beast. Yeah, we might as well all go. It's just okay, now how do we get past the constant tides of dead?
Stealth. Well, there's the rooftops.
Mm-hmm. Everyone does. Not everyone's quite so limber, though.
Well, that's when you have Wilbur pick up Grund like a cat and drag him over,
Very well.
buzz him over.
He is
Or
able
actually,
to do
Krill would be able to just be strong enough to like Superman jump with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can do it.
Let us do it. So are
Right.
you calling for stealth or
Kita-
acrobatics?
Kita suction cups to the back of Krill's like shell to hang on.
Yeah.
Transportation by Hulk.
I hang on, and I offer aid to yourself the whole time because I'm not moving. I don't need to be quiet, but you are not quiet. So I'm just like,
So
He's decent at stealth.
um
so I'm.
if
Fair enough.
the group is going across rooftops, yeah, that would be either an athletics or an acrobatics, your choice. But Grund and Kita, you're being carried, right?
Am I actually being carried? Because I can climb on walls.
Oh yeah, you would be able to.
I can.
But it's more about
Yeah.
like leaping across alleys and stuff.
I mean, I have those
That's
boots.
an issue.
Yeah.
The leaping over alleys is an issue, but
Yeah,
like,
although yeah,
For
Urgent,
me,
you can jump yourself, but you also have a buzzy beetle that could carry one of the smaller, lighter people.
I thought he was
You know, like,
carrying
across
Grund.
gaps at least. Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, Grudge, you won't have to worry about this, but you will have to do a stealth check because he's just there to carry you across gaps. So I need everyone to do either, who are doing it. Kita, you don't have to. Grudge, you don't have to. But the rest of you, acrobatics or athletics, please.
Okay.
okay.
Just a moment.
No.
Fucking 12.
I have a native advantage on athletics checks. So just making sure. Because champion.
Nice. Well, it wasn't going to be a super high thing for you, Urgent, just because you have the boots.
Yep.
That's good because Roll20 is being a dick to
JJ?
me today.
All right, well, wait, JJ, you don't have to do this because of your cloak, right?
Yeah, he can just turn into mist.
Yeah,
It's not
so
very fast mist, but it's still not falling mist.
yeah. So yeah, there are points where you see getting. Plus, I mean, you're a rogue. You can just like jump across these. So yeah, do an acrobatics check for me.
Yes.
Actually, at level 10, do you have like reliable talent?
Let me check, actually.
Because that might be, you might be able to just do 23 for that, just decide to do a 23.
That is a level 11 feature.
Oh, 11. Okay. 16? Okay. That's still enough, though. And yeah, you can mist across some of the trickier spots. Okay, now I want the stealth checks with. Are you doing pass without advantage? Or pass
Pass-
without a trace?
Yeah, pass without trace is on.
That's advantage.
Mhm.
You have to be close to me though, at least 30
Yeah.
feet. So
Yeah,
Okay.
it's an aura.
that was almost a. That's not even a close to being a 20. Damn it,
Yeah,
Urgent.
that's a 39.
13.
17 plus 10, so 27.
27.
Yeah, everyone gets a plus 10. Oh, jeez. 41 for Joshua Jones. It's dead as the grave, or quiet as the grave.
Yeah, we should be fine. I think we're good,
Yeah.
guys.
Dead as the grave.
There are a few points where, like, Urgent, you're almost slip a bit. Because of the constant mist, it's very slick. The tiles of the rooftops, a little precarious. More than usual. Even though this is a tropical place, this is still like constant humidity with this mist. But even though it's a very cold mist, unnaturally cold, you could say.
Yeah, almost like ice.
But you all managed to avoid the detection of some of the undead that are out and about. You do have to pause a bit and let a pack of the rooftops descend down into something. And there's a moment where Grund, you're the one who notices this because you've probably made these before. You have to stop the group and point out what looks to be from a distance fairly typical like jungle vulture, you know. But then as it turns its head where it's perched up on a wall, its beak is like held open. As you see inside its rotting, partially skin-flayed head, a large human eye nestled in its mouth, swiveling around, scouting around as you recognize
A what?
before it spreads its tattered wings and flutters off.
Wait, what?
You
What
cut
was the name?
off.
What's the name of it?
A bone collector. I'll show you what it looks like. But you managed with this really high roll to avoid its detection.
Oh, lovely.
Bone.
Yeah, and you would know, Grund, that they are often created by members of the Academy to be like messengers or, you know, slightly stronger than familiar minions, that kind of
A
thing.
basic bitch bone collector up there.
Basic bitch.
Very good perception, though, so it's probably a good idea to not, you know,
Not hang around here.
yeah. Oh, wait.
No.
Mm. Oh. Okay, it's a good thing you rolled so high, JJ. Grant, there is a moment where you're like, oh, we should be fine. Oh, no. They have something known as death sense.
Oh, fuck.
But because, JJ, you are a mist, they can't track you by smell. Bone collectors are quite literal in their name. They're used by necromancers to hunt down recently, what's
Fresh
the word?
corpses?
Deceased?
Yes, deceased. That's the word. Thank you. Yes, thank you. A specific word I was looking for. Yes, freshly deceased bodies to, to collect. But thankfully, seem to avoid it with those really good rolls and the pass without a trace. And it spreads its tattered wings and flutters off, disappearing into the mist. So, as you come out, you see it's not too far, but takes you longer to travel across rooftops than just like sneaking alleyway to alleyway, but less chance of being found. So eventually, you realize you're close to the plaza, and you know, yeah, you all rolled very well. Let's just show you it. May look familiar to some of you.
Oh boy.
Targets.
Target-rich environment.
As you see, the fountain has been partially smashed, like the elaborate like part where the water would come sprouting out has been smashed and replaced. The water is still trickling out into the basin, but it's no longer, an art piece. And standing above it, you see this thing. Hold on, let me find it.
That's really cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah, I made that last night.
Nice.
As Gren, if you would have to guess, as you see mist seemingly, so it's a two-part effect. Mist seems to be seeping up from the water around the base and spilling out into the plaza, but also from above you see what looks to be strands of the mist spiraling down in a helix, siphoning through what looks to be a arcane filter of a sort before trickling down past, you recognize, a large shard of the ice. before whatever seems to be dripping down it, drip, drip, drips into what looks to be a large cauldron situated above a pedestal, surrounded by black candles with the ghost flame light. You see undead and venom web adder caps. The adder caps seem to be looking at it, dipping, like, literally looks like one of them dips a ladle into the pond, or like the fountain, lifts up the water, examines it, pours it out, nods to some of the others. As they're like, they almost look like technicians maintaining whatever's there. But as the undead are just kind of milling about. And being this close, so you even see that there's not as many coffins on the map, like in the actual like map. This is a Bloodborne map, so.
I mean, some of those ghouls want to get comfy.
Yeah, and yeah, you would be showing up on the rooftops to the bottom right. But yeah.
Where are you? Richard. There you are.
Oh yeah, Grund.
Yeah.
To make up for him not rolling, I'm just gonna say Kloop stayed behind to help with the defenses of the place. And plus, he's not exactly because he's an armored ghoul. He has disadvantage on stuff, so probably would have been best to like bring clanking along the rooftop. So we're just gonna say he stayed behind.
Which means Grunt is vulnerable.
Corvus, where are you?
It may be a shame if our resident wizard drowns in the fountain.
He tripped and couldn't get up because I was holding his face in.
Oh god, that would poison the well. Someone poisoned the well. So
he starts drinking the nectar. This tastes like poison. Putting away the poisoner's kit? No.
It's not our problem.
Oh, necrosia. That's actually a good one, DZ.
I mean, ambrosia was the drink of the gods said to give you immortality. This is ambrosia of a sort. Just nasty, gross ambrosia.
Mm-hmm.
It's like cider that's gone bad.
Ugh. I've had that. It's not fun.
Ghoul tastes it. It's a good thing my taste buds died.
They like horrible, rotten stuff, so they might like it.
Yeah.
So, you have gotten you see what looks to be not the embargo generator, but an ectoplasmic condenser, if you had a guess.
Yeah. And generating some of that nectar Nidhogg wants. So, a lot of ghouls, several husk zombies and whites, a few Edder caps.
I'm trying to see if I have anything I could like throw out a ways to draw some attention.
I mean, I can just throw myself.
Well, yeah, but I don't want you to be the distraction.
You know, wait, I should give suggestions. I'm the DM.
Let me check something.
Alright, wizards, whip out your big spells. Like Wall of Fire.
Yeah, okay. Where do you want it?
Hold on!
I could black tentacles too.
A Wall of Fire up here would prevent the big guy from coming through. or at least
yeah.
be a deterrent.
Oh my god, hold?
We're not-
Please!
Fine, fine. We won't strategize.
I'm looking... Where is that? God, I just saw you. Where'd you go, Mammoth?
We are holding.
Oh no, you're only CR6. I could... Here's something. Somebody could get turned into a giant ape and be a big distraction somewhere else. They've got 40-foot
Kloop?
movement. I know. They've got a 40-foot movement and climb, but they can also jump 30 feet just by using 10 feet of movement. That would be really easy to move and, you know, not just be a sitting duck.
Unleash the Kong.
At least the hog, yes. So, you know, drawing some attention away, maybe JJ could still sneak in at that point, and we wouldn't fight everything here.
Like, this is
With
pretty
giant-
close to the hospital. Like, if we don't kill them now, they will be a problem later for trying to evacuate.
Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah, and also just a reminder, this could just be a scouting mission. You don't have to engage just because you see him there. You know,
Yeah.
this was also
my point,
to
but, like-
get eyes on the
Yeah.
Yeah, which was
Which-
my point, was distract with monkey while our stealth goes in and takes a look.
Hey, I sent you a message, Corona, Urgent.
Okay, 1 second.
I said Corona because it was in the Corona chat. But
I mean, you could. Technically, if you hasted me, I could just blaze through all these guys and they would chase me.
Holy shit! Wait!
Yeah, you were hasted the last
Yeah.
time and were a
Okay.
menace.
Yeah, Kita pauses as like just talking about this plan. Head slowly turns.
although JJ Hasted would be a monster as well.
Yeah, but JJ's the one who needs to go take a look.
True.
Yeah,
And
so
Grund.
Heads and
Why-
run.
why
Head
looking at me?
slowly turns to Erdrin.
yeah, what?
Want to be a men? Do you want to go be a menace?
Like how?
Like, be an utter menace to them down there to keep their attention, while JJ goes and be's all sneaky and, you know, takes a look.
So just like run circles around them?
Quite literally.
Yeah, okay. He's gonna be an asshole.
Oh.
Not to you. He's
Okay.
gonna slap himself with this before you slap him with haste.
Neum.
Fuck! And then I do the whole blood bending thing, you know, and
Oh,
like...
it's not concentration
you're
either.
Nope.
Mine's concentration, but like, it's fine.
You're gonna be hidden up here.
Yeah, I do the whole bloodbending thing and make your fucking adrenaline surge as I cast haste on you.
Alright, so
Oh, that's so overkill.
I am going to try to
No.
fucking take one of these out with me before I run off. You know, so they have a reason to chase me.
Mhm.
Who
Yeah.
is the best target for me to do that with?
Oh, that guy looks important.
They look like a grunt.
Yeah.
You recognize this one standing over here, just kind of standing in place, swaying side by side as they stare up at the contraption. You would recognize that as a greater.
A greater what?
zombie.
Oh.
A
Oh.
Zombie.
yeah, it's a more intelligent, stronger, old. It's like a zombie that survives long enough to become
Gain
more.
some intelligence.
Yeah,
In that
sort
case, you could slap any one of the enter caps, or slap that deathlock.
Okay.
One of the deathlocks was like at the siege of the temple.
of. Yeah,
the
you're
deathlock
the
was
one
leading
that
them.
you. Yeah, you're the one who bullied it too.
I was. So I can now go 60 feet. Without being hasted. Hasted, I can go
120 feet.
120 feet. And then I could dash if I felt like it. And go.
Which would be what?
Good lord.
God, what would that be?
240.
240. Yeah.
Yeah, at least you're not a tabaxi or have mobile.
And
Wait, you might have
additionally,
mobile. I don't know.
if you have your little buggy jetpack, so you could have on his turn just fly you around a little more.
Okay, so.
God, yeah. Yeah, you are very quick.
Oh,
We have accidentally
Yeah.
made the Flash.
Accidentally, he says. Alright.
accidentally.
Alright, so, okay.
The Flash in armor with swords.
So I'm gonna
Oh,
just suddenly leap down after she hastes me and slam into the concrete here, move 5 feet up, and take some swings at this guy.
Okay, advantage, because this would be a surprise round. Because you would technically still have pass without a trace up. 16 hits.
Okay.
Okay. Crit. Okay. Yeah, that hits.
How's he looking? He dead? Okay.
Snicker snack. Off goes his head.
Alright, then let me see here. I'm going to move in such a way that I do not provoke opportunity attacks and I can get right here.
Okay.
So he just lands there, kills that guy, basically yells at everybody, "Hey, come get me, you motherfuckers!" and then runs.
Yeah, that gets, like, the Ettercap, who is, like, messing around with some crates here, turns around at hearing the Deathlock's head hit the ground, turns around, sees you, and actually kind of takes a step back, like, what the fuck? Like, is that a fucking gremlin?
Runs by like the Flash and, like, kicks him in the ankle.
God, I thought your
God.
rogue from the Spelljam or the Jammerpunk scheme was evil.
Evil?
Urza's on
Yes!
another level.
This is the latest iteration of Gloomstalker Ranger, I do believe.
No, he's a Beastmaster.
Okay, just
Yeah,
a
that's why he-
Beastmaster.
He's
So
just a
not
Beastmaster.
quite pure evil.
Why
could
they
be
adapt the
worse.
Beetle. Yeah, it's funny when you're hasted and running. Wilbur's just cruising to your back like, along for the rides. The antenna just.
Yeah, because what's your current movement speed right now?
Without dashing,
120.
120.
Yeah, so you're able to go 120 feet in like a matter of what, 6 seconds?
6 seconds, yes.
Yep.
And I'm wearing...
Yeah, that Beetle's hanging on for dear life.
What am I wearing right now? Oh yeah, serpent scale armor, so it's not technically heavy.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of serpent scale armor, but it's made out of exoskeleton.
You just
And-
want to do that.
Yeah, that gets a lot of attention. These ghouls here and the husk zombies you run past go to chase after. You know what? Roll an acrobatics check with advantage.
Okay. Not good at
'Cause-
these, but well,
Well, yeah, you are apparently.
he knows the
You're
assignment, I
hasted.
guess.
Yeah. So, you know what? And also, just for fun, make an intimidate check with advantage.
Okay. I didn't put anything into my charisma.
That's fine. 15 though. That gets the attention. You get a lot of the attention. You know, we'll say that without going into full combat and the tedium of you versus a swarm, because you can run circles around them, literally. So you begin kiting the husk zombies, the ghouls go galloping off after you, the Ettercap, like necromancer shouts and points off as like the ogre skeleton goes lumbering after. And yeah, let's see.
I wanna
They're gone.
I want to flavor it a little where if anybody gets even a little bit close to me, I speed up like an asshole and jump onto the roofs and then like taunt them a little bit before I keep running just to keep their attention.
And actually, one of the necromancers would have followed by teleporting away. Teleporting after.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Come get me,
Urgent really
bitch.
is the Doom guy in this situation. And we thought it was JJ.
I'm later Doom guy. This is classic Doom guy, where you're just a little man who is somehow bullet dodging everything.
Bullying
just being an annoying,
demons.
kiting little shit.
It's the best.
Wait, so
JJ, don't worry. You'll get hasted later.
God, hasted JJ.
Scatha is playing classic Doom guy. I'm playing Slayer Doom guy.
that's fair.
The Slayer is fucking fast, too.
Yes.
All the husk zombies would have gone chasing off because they're kind of mindless.
And I would
Yeah.
know that this spell only lasts a minute, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Just
when
when it runs out, remember, you'll just need like a second to catch your breath.
Still, but when I know that I'm gonna count down the minute, and then I'm going to hide for like that crucial second, so I can just use my normal speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is still third.
Yeah, just for fun, roll a stealth check. You still have pass without a trace, so you can use that for that minute. Like the 6 seconds. Oh yeah, you're able to hop up onto like someone's like apartment balcony, and just sit there, just panting for like the 6 seconds as you feel the rush pass, and then you just get up and start zipping away again.
A little slower, but not by much.
Hmm. And that encourages like them to keep following you. Like the other caps, like, oh, they're slowing down. We can get them.
Nope.
In
No, you
spoiler,
can't.
they can't. They can't. Yeah, you're just. So yeah,
JJ!
it is much emptier.
Yeah.
There's still this white here. Kind of looking around. There's a handful of zombies, 2 Ettercap warriors, and a necromancer still. So, you could rush in, try to take them out, or did you want to try to sneak in?
I can attempt to
Understand.
sneak in with Grund, but
Well, okay, you don't need to take Grund
Oh.
because you can go down there as long as What? You want to go down there?
Oh, but I want to be included.
besides, we didn't
Fine,
drown
go.
him.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, you could
Yeah, never
wall
mind,
of
then go.
you could wall of fire right here.
We're all such friends. But yeah, if you don't need me, it's fine.
If we didn't want to do stealth, you could do wall of fire like right there and get a lot of them.
Yeah, I would
Well,
like.
also,
Yeah, let's.
part of the thing was getting Grunt to go up and take a look at it. So
Yeah, Grund's the expert.
Yeah,
remember.
no, here's my thing. Here's what I was going to say. We don't need to, as long as I still see JJ, I can cast a message between me and JJ and tell Grund everything JJ reports. And nobody will hear us
The
because
middle
message
leech.
can only be heard by the recipients.
The middle leech.
Yes, the middle leech. It would be like, we'd be going, back and forth or whatever, but like, JJ can be, fucking invisible, all but literally. While Grund doesn't need to be, close to the things that can snap him like a twig.
I like to think that while you're doing this, you just see the Erdrin every once in a while hop onto a roof, like in silhouette, and then hop away.
Yeah.
God, if Modhur wasn't doomed to freeze, Urgent becoming Batman is really appropriate. Bugman.
Bug Mandalorian Batman.
Bug Mandalorian
Bug
Batman.
Man.
Bugman.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Oh, I wish I hadn't built him to die.
So, yeah, Urgent, you're having a...
That is what I propose. If we just want to fight, alright, but that is what I propose.
Fighting could get us bogged down. I want us to get in and out.
Yeah.
That was my thought as well, so...
Yeah. No, I'm agreeing with you with different words. Is all.
Yeah, go for it, JJ.
Alright.
Go ahead and stealth. Minus the pass without a trace, of course.
Yes.
Not that you needed it. So... Oh yeah, one thing, Urgent, you would have noticed with the death lock, and JJ, you might notice this as you sneak past the body. You get the feeling that, just above game deathlocks, they are undead warlocks. You get the feeling by looking at them that Nidhogg might have been their patron.
Probably.
Well, I hope he felt that.
They look to have been like humans at one point, or humanoids, but they look like they might have been twisting a little more draconic in death. But yeah, JJ, you're able to sneak up. The two Ettercaps are like on the other side because they're like keeping watch over this way where Urgent ran off, and they're like shattering in their own language, so you can't really understand what. You can sort of hear them, but you can't make out what they're saying. And the zombies around are, their perception. You know what? Let's just see. I doubt they'll be able to. Nope, the white doesn't notice you. They rolled pretty well for a white, but nope, definitely not enough. Would have needed to be a crit to be able to have a chance of seeing you. But yeah, you go up, and as you wade through the mist, there is that chill. Like, JJ, you don't really feel sensation much anymore.
Yeah.
It's another tragedy of the moment, but you can feel this chill, perhaps because of the nature of the mist. That it traps souls, and you are a soul made flesh.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you're dead. Get in the jar.
Because theoretically, you could possibly find your own body somewhere out there.
I mean, we know where.
Yeah.
Well, if it didn't get up and start shambling around, that is.
Yeah.
That's true.
There's a non-zero chance JJ may have to stab his own body in the face.
Oh god.
Believe me,
I'm
I
just
played a
imagining
character that had to do that. It doesn't go well.
One of the Deathlocks walks up to Cinderella. A second JJ has hit the city.
The second JJ has hit the ziggurat.
Oh my god.
Fuck!
Oh, boy.
My god.
So, you go up, and let's see, maybe let's see, work fast. Yeah, let's go with work fast. Better run. It was for Urdrin's Mume.
You.
So, yeah, you approach it, and you see the mist waft, like it's like someone dunked dry ice. Just for a visual, JJ wouldn't know what dry ice is, but it's like someone dunked dry ice into the fountain, just pouring out this mist, seeping across the ground before like diffusing into the air. But it is that like weird clarity because the mist around the condenser is being drawn in towards the top, so you can see it fairly clearly. And what do y'all want to know?
All right. Since
You get the, Okay, what have you found?
he describes what he sees.
You
Yeah,
see
yeah,
a
we're
tripodal
playing-
structure around, with the ice slotted into the center of it, with a dark metal cauldron situated beneath this point where it's like, icicle dripping down. And you,
Grunt, you get that information.
yeah, JJ, because of your undead nature and the new nature of your patron, not warlock patron, but you know what I mean. You can sense that, yeah, that is ectoplasmic residue. That is soul stuff being made physical in a
Liquid form.
profoundly profane way. This is like something that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah. Something
And
which
it
should
just-
not be.
And it drips down into this cauldron, which you realize could probably be swapped out for a different one once it.
Yeah, makes sense. But what sort of insights would Grund be getting into how they work and whatnot?
That's a very good question. Let's find
let's-
out.
Yeah, do an Arcana check, please.
Would I be able to... Never mind.
Aid.
Yes, I'm good at this. Haha.
Good.
I mean, do you have guidance or something? You could slap that on them.
I do,
but
yeah. Yeah. Hey, every little bit
roll a
helps.
d4. No.
20.
Flat 20.
A dirty 20. Excellent. That's what Grund wants.
Okay, so
Everything
between
with
the
Grund is
three of
dirty.
you, Krill, you're just kind of perched there, just itching for, just waiting for them to notice you so you can jump down and crack some, zombies like usual. But between the three, JJ and you describing it and the vibes you get from it, Grund, you come to the conclusion that the mist and the ice is definitely tied. I mean, obviously, but there is a thread of magic that seems to unite them, especially now that you can see this contraption and what you know from Adam Shera and you think that by targeting the ice, you could probably target the mist in the same way, if that makes sense. And like, like you're pretty sure that you get the sense that, yeah, confirmation that if this Embaru generator is thing like these condensers, messing with the ice would definitely affect the mist. You would have a chain reaction. You're not sure what that is yet, but yeah, you gain the confirmation that you're seeking about, sabotaging the larger constructs. And, from the description of this, it would be destroyed if you move the ice, destroyed the mechanism. Just fully destroyed it, but it would not work without the ice.
mean,
Which-
JJ could literally just pluck the ice out right now, I imagine.
It's a good, like, 2 feet long, 2.5 feet long.
Okay, maybe
It's a
not.
big chunk of ice, but I could still damage it with the hook blade.
Yeah, the arcane mechanism up on top where like it filters down, that looks incredibly delicate. That's what's perched up on top of the tripod. And
Yeah, I'm sure if I
And
scratched out the runes, it would.
yeah, and actually Grund, you would know with that soft 20, that would be the easiest way to disable it. Remove the ice or break the arcane mechanism on it. But you know the weak spots at least. But also, Grund, you're getting
You're
a
pro-
hankering for a sippy.
um, your call, JJ. If you want to sabotage this now, it's up to you.
Of course, he's gonna sabotage it.
All right, everybody, get ready. Whenever next time I see the silhouette of Erdrin, I'll message him. Okay, JJ is getting ready to fuck this thing up.
What do you want me to do then?
Just to get ready in case there's an
ready?
explosion.
Yeah, get ready in case there's an explosion, and you need to head back.
Okay. I'm gonna
We've learned
fucking...
what we needed to.
My ass is
get
gonna
back
hide
here.
again. I'm gonna hide and
Okay.
make them spend time looking for me, and then I'm going to stealth away from them and come back to the group.
Yeah, let's be mean. Do a deception check.
Okay.
To mislead them. 16? Okay. Follow that up with the stealth, which you still have passed without a trace because it hasn't been an hour. Although, might be getting close because it took a while to travel across the rooftops, but it's still active for now. Oh yeah, that's what the 22 was?
Yeah.
Yep.
So that'd be
32.
32, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. You're pretty sure you've got them twisted around, and you actually kited them into like another group of other undead that they start like crashing in and like get confused and like lose the trail, and you're pretty sure you've given them the slip and
So
got them confused at least for the time being.
So eventually, Erdrin appears on this rooftop over here and like gives all of you a thumbs up as he's being stealthy
yeah.
still.
Yeah.
And then
So,
you
Let's
JJ.
see what's on our side. I'd be terrified.
JJ, what were you
Yeah.
going to do?
He's going to damage the mechanism.
Okay.
Would you like me to roll an attack for that?
Yeah. See if you find the weak spots. But with it would be at advantage because with Grun's help, and I guess this would be a sneak attack against an immobile object. But it would still 21. Okay, yeah. Roll damage.
Ready up.
Okay, yeah.
I would say instead of using the sharp edge, he's actually going to use the curve of the hook to bash it in.
As you clamber up on, climb up one of the legs of it, because it is a fairly contraption.
Yeah,
but
those bones are anything to scale.
and so you climb up clamber up, and it is extremely cold to the touch, obviously. But you climb up and you see the centerpiece of it. You see the exact spot where you should hit because the funnel that the mist is siphoning down into, it's a complex drain looking thing made out of glass, and you bring down the blunt edge, the blunt curve of it, and bludgeon it, and it just cracks immediately before shattering as there is a detonation of mist filling the area as if by a fog cloud spell. Everything is heavily obscured in this place. And now there is shouts from the Ettercaps and the White.
He climbs down and he immediately kicks over the fucking bowl of nectar.
Yeah, and as you kick it, there is like this, as it spills, this collective faint scream as it just immediately begins to dissipate into the air.
Oh God.
And yeah, go ahead. Are you gonna try to run away, or are you gonna try to
Yeah, he'll try to book it.
go Batman into a smoke cloud?
He will try to book it. Meow.
Yeah. So I was telling DZ, I make the jokes that like epic level JJ would be like a Paladin Road multi-class, but if he picked Oath of the Mariner, Oath of the Open Sea, their channel divinity is they can create a fog cloud that travels on them that they can see through.
Yeah.
So JJ would be a murder cloud.
I was sad I never got to use that as Oceana.
Oh yeah.
It's like those cartoons where like you see a bunch of people fighting and it's a big ass dust cloud of fists swinging and people getting hurt.
I mean, it's more like JJ would become like the murder Batman with, how Batman takes people out in smoke bomb clouds all the time.
Yeah.
But-
It's like, oh, it's pretty foggy today. And the fog just rolls over somebody, you'd hear, ow, ow, ow! Jesus Christ! And when the cloud moves on, they've somehow been contorted into a pretzel.
Oh god, Suspiria. So yeah, you managed to sabotage one of the ectoplasmic condensers, and without getting caught. The only person that was seen was Erdrin take out a deathlock in 3 hits. Literally 3 hits was what it took.
And then fucking flash away.
Yeah. So
Well, we know what to do.
They think they saw Erdrin. It's entirely possible they didn't.
We saw a little blue
Yeah.
dude. We're not sure. I think maybe it was Sonic.
oh god.
Uh,
Ettercap's that
Nidhogg?
crazy dude from the beginning of the Sonic movies. Like, I swear I've seen him.
I saw him. I swear to God.
Nidhogg, one of the condensers got broken. What? By who?
It's like-
I'm not sure.
Sonic the Hedgehog?
God damn it again!
That blue little rat!
So, yeah,
Promotion.
you've gained some insight on these condensers, so you know how to take them out if you find any more across the town, and gain some potential insights with the generator since these are, as you realize, these are indeed probably linked creations.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess, oh shoot, it's time to wrap up, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Next
No
time.
combat today.
Well,
Just barely.
No combat. Yeah, yeah, nearly was, but like we.
This is the lull before
Yeah.
before things go bad, because now you have guidance.
Mm-hmm. We know what we need to do and who to take out.
Yeah.
Next time we fight a turbo pirate.
woo! Turbo pirates are fun. Do you have a stinger before we leave off?
Not really, no. Yeah, no. With the rest of you melting back into the mist, climbing along the rooftops, you head back to the temple. There was an attempted attack, but with the defenders, they were able to hold back. And actually, you're able to dash in and kind of break the assault from behind, scattering the undead as you and are able to find shelter within the temple once more.
Okay.
Something before I forget.
Hmm.
Okay.
I turn into a giant. I turn into a giant ape and use my size to like help set up barricades.
All right.
That is on the recording, so I'm gonna stop now.